What's up, everybody? Welcome, Arvanauts, and welcome many new people. New people here that are here specifically for our JulyCon logo that you see flashing on the screen. I am your host, Arvin Eleron. This is my channel, and it is my great honor to be hosting this amazing D&D event for the Octavia E. Butler Memorial Scholarship. Thank you to those who have been hosting, to those who have followed, to the subscribers. I really appreciate all of that. I am going to take my logo down here after the Rising Tides comes in with a host. Thank you, Brandon. And I'm going to fire up my webcam. Kabow. There we go. Hi, everyone. It's good to see you all. As I said, my name is Arvin Eleron here on Twitch. My real name is Gregory A. Wilson. I am the host of JulyCon this year. I am a college professor. I am an author of speculative fiction and also a dungeon master and gamer who does a lot of this stuff on this stream. In fact, I have a thing called Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library, which came out recently, which is a 5th edition adventure sourcebook and supplement that I first debuted at Gen Con. So we do this kind of thing a lot, and I expect to see that, hosts, and things like that quite a bit. And so the event that we're about to present for you tonight is a big one for us. We're very excited about it, and it is all to benefit that thing you see right there, the Octavia E. Butler Memorial Scholarship, which is up to $320 as we speak, $320. We'll talk more about this. I'm going to let, in just a moment, Carlos Hernandez introduce this. But I do want to mention that we are here for that reason and for one other reason, which is the importance of bringing people together in community. These authors are all brought together through their goodwill and grace and through the will of Carlos Hernandez, who is the one whose brainchild this all was. And so it was a great honor to have him on board, and it's great to have all of you folks too. And if you like what you see here, I hope you will consider following the channel and checking out what we do here at other times when we don't have this amazing crew. That said, we know the chat is going to be moving fast tonight. We will do the best we can to keep up with it. But in the meantime, we hope you are ready to go for this event. It sure sounds like it. And so I'm going to unmute myself so that the folks know that we are ready to go. I apologize in advance for having interrupted them. And then I'm going to unmute them. And last, it is my great pleasure to bring you over to over to this special D&D event. Let me again call out publicly Shadowed Mage, one of my mods, for doing this amazing overlay. He did all the overlays this weekend, all of the special custom commands and Arcana Spot, and we had a bunch of panels early on today with many authors and so forth, and he was a big part of making that possible. So thank you, Shadowed. Thank you to all my channel moderators and all that kind of good stuff. And with that said, I am going to now hand things over as the voice of the gods, so to speak, because you can't see me. I am going to hand things over to Carlos Hernandez to go from there. Folks, good luck with everything. And Carlos, the floor is yours.
Welcome, everybody. I am so excited to play D&D with my Rick Riordan Presents peeps. Hello, everybody. Let me tell you how this came about just very quickly. So a bunch of us were going to be going to the American Library Association conference, which would have taken place about a month ago now. And while we were talking about going, we were like, oh, we should play a game of D&D. That would be so awesome. And so we were getting all excited, and Sarwat has a lot more experience than I do, and Kwame was getting into it, and Rick was going to play a cleric, and it was going to be great, and then they canceled the thing because COVID sucks. So what we did instead is think, well, how can we still play? Here we are today. I am so happy we got so many of our Rick Riordan Presents people and the man himself, Rick Riordan, who made this imprint possible together to play. We're going to be playing tonight for the Carl Brandon Society, specifically for the Octavia E. Butler Scholarship. And that scholarship is meant to help people of color get to the Clarion Writers Workshop. So I know a lot of you out there must be aspiring writers. Clarion Workshop is one of the best places to go if you want to jump to the next level in fantasy and science fiction writing. It's been around for a heck of a long time. Octavia Butler herself attended it and taught there later in her career many times, and she was a big believer in Clarion, and so are we. We want to see more people of color getting more opportunities in fantasy and science fiction. So that's what we're going to be playing for tonight. Will's going to talk a little bit later about how your donations will not just help people of color join the science fiction and fantasy community, but will help or hinder the party's progress in our game today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and just ask everybody to introduce themselves. But first, I want to say a big, special, super duper thank you to our dungeon master, Will Sobel. Will, from Green Ronin Games, is an experienced player of like all sorts of RPGs, a creator of RPGs and source books, and also a very hilarious person. I've had such a great time making my character, and I know everybody's had a great time. So Will, thank you so much for doing this. It's a ton of work. The Dungeon Master always gets all the work that they have to do. Thank you so much for doing this.
No problem. Yeah, I'm happy to. I'm glad that you guys got to put this together and that you included me in it. It's really awesome to be a part of something like this.
Oh, yeah, and it's really going to be a lot of fun. We have just like a lot planned and in store. So what I'd like to do is start with Rick, and then we'll go through the authors in the order that you were published by Rick Riordan Presents, and you'll just introduce your character's name, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we will get this party started. So Yoon, please tell us about yourself.
Wasn't Rick going to go first?
Oh, Rick was going to go first. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, if we're going in publication order, then I think Rick needs to go first,
Rick
right?
probably goes first. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Age before beauty or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to be playing a cleric. I'm pretty much just a straightforward healer. My name is Finlu. I'm a Celtic healer. So I heard some talk about poison. I'm watching you. I'm lawful good. I'm not liking this. I don't know.
Oh, it's really funny. Rick, what is the next book that you have coming out?
The next book is the last book set in Percy Jackson's world. It's the Tower of Nero. Comes out in October.
Yeah.
After that, I have no deadlines. Like for the first time in 20 years, I'm just
wow. What's that like?
Much nicer to us about our deadlines after that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just get to read all the cool stuff you guys write.
So Rick, thank you so much for Rick Riordan Presents. Thank you so much for being here. I know you've got a ton of fans here who are going to be rooting you on. So I'm hoping that their love for you is going to carry the party through.
Or not.
So now, sorry, Yoon.
Hello, my name is Yunha Lee. I am the author of Dragon Pearl, and I will be playing Cheris, who is a human fighter, ran away from a village full of fox worshippers who all wanted to be thieves and tricksters, and she said, no, I just want to be a fighter. So I am going to be a tank, and I expect to die very quickly. And I apologize, this is my cat, who is my companion.
So far, it's the best part of this stream.
This is Catton. This is Catton that I've met in social media so many times.
I love.
Yoon, you have now signed to do a sequel to Dragon Pearl with Rick Riordan Presents, right?
Yes, I am working on it. Well, not right now, but I am working on it.
Between dice rolls, you'll be typing, I'm sure.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here. Next, I think we move right on to Kwame. Hello, Kwame.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm pretty excited. Maybe you could tell.
I could not tell, Carlos. I need you to dial up the enthusiasm a little bit.
I'm here. I'm here for it. Tell us about your character.
All right. My name is Kwame, but the character that I am playing is a rock gnome that goes by the moniker of Nomi Stark. He is a bard who, could probably play a little bit better, but he does his very best. He tries his hardest. But he is a bard who was kicked out of his family home because his tunes just weren't up to par, and he's wandering now trying to find that perfect melody that will unite his family again.
Awesome. And when is Tristan Strong destroying the world again?
Tristan Strong is destroying the world on October 6th of this year.
Awesome. Man, I know a ton of people are going to be looking forward to that. Thank you, Kwame.
I just realized how soon that is, because time means nothing.
Oh, right, yeah.
Time is irrelevant.
Thank you, COVID, again. I think next up, we have Taylor, whose debut is coming right up.
I'm so excited.
So,
Hi, I'm Taylor K. Mejia, and my Rick Riordan Presents book is Paula Santiago and the River of Tears, which is a very spooky La Llorona retelling. And my character tonight is Selena, who's a tiefling rogue, and she's a thief who relies on her portal opening ability to steal stuff, but she can't do it anymore. And her main goal tonight is just to get as much money as possible by whatever means necessary.
Love it. I just want to tell everybody that I had the privilege of reading Paola Santiago and the River of Tears, and it is a winner. You're going to love it. So please, please, please get those pre-orders in. And thank you so much, Taylor, for being here tonight. And then last, only in order, only in this arbitrary order that we're using, is Sarwat. Sarwat, how are you doing? It's like 1 a.m. there, isn't it?
It is, and I admit I am in my pajamas.
Oh.
So, I was having a little lie down before the game. So yeah.
I mean,
right. So I'm
yeah.
Sarwat. The character that I'm playing is the Dread Pirate Hassan, the scourge of the Seven Seas, or he would be if his mother retired, who is the Dread Pirate Queen Miriam. So basically, he's trying to follow in his mother's footsteps. They had a little familial falling out, and he's run away with a great but cursed treasure. And so hence he stumbled into the party. Yeah. And I've written, mine comes out in January next year. And a little bit of blatant self-promotion. Here's the report of it. City of the Plague God, and the premise is what would happen if a terrible disease struck society, and how would people react and cope, and which I thought was the most ridiculous plot ever and could never possibly happen and be reflected in the real world.
Right.
And here we are.
And here we are. Thanks, Sarwat. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Awesome. Thank you so much. I've also been reading City of the Plague God. It is a terrific, it gets right off to a humongous bang.
Oh, thank you.
Oh no, it's so terrific. And I was reading it, I was driving and my wife was reading it in the car to me, and it reads aloud so gorgeously. Master wordsmith, right. We loved it. So thank you so much. Thank you everybody for being here. My character is a warlock whose name is Ridiculo, but for short, he goes by Rick. He has a little pixie familiar who's known as Lil Rick, L-I-L, Rick. So Lil Rick the pixie will be hovering around my shoulder. And Ridiculo is a current artist who for some reason has made it to 12th level. Like he should have been dead 25 times by now, but just by accident foibles, falling through portals, he's just managed to escape. And he's made a deal with this extremely extraterrestrial, ultra fey planar traveler known as Salvador Vidon, who gives him special powers as long as he agrees to play tricks on his arch nemesis, Gabby.
That's amazing.
I see what you did there.
I have so many problems with all of this, but we'll address it in game.
Rock on, Nomi.
Just so that we're all clear, I will be addressing that as Big Rick, and then the little dragon as Lil Rick, just so that there's no confusion.
Why would there be?
That seems really straightforward to me.
Okay, so I think we've talked about everything that we need to talk about, so let's play some game.
Yay.
Oh, I need to talk about some things first.
Okay.
We need to talk about how this donating thing is going to work.
Oh, yeah.
So, viewers, how this is going to work is anytime that you donate, Greg has set up commands in the chat for you to say either bless or curse.
Oh.
I love the reactions here. It's all exactly what I expected.
I'm like, did anyone else know about this?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. See, what's going to happen is these fine people are going to donate, and it's going to go to a good cause, but it's possible that it also goes to a different good cause, and that's me tormenting you. So at certain points in this little story, I'm going to ask Greg to check which one of these 2 are higher, bless or curse. And depending on which one is higher, I'm gonna either give you something if bless is higher, or I'm gonna do something really, really terrible if curse is higher.
So meteor swarm, basically, right?
Like,
Never say never. But I think, Greg, are you wanted to tell people how these commands worked in the chat?
Yeah. And actually, let me unmute myself in Zoom so people aren't confused. Yes. So the way this works is when, let's say that you wanted to bless the players, who wouldn't want to do that? You would do exclamation point DND donate, DNDDONATE, space, dash bless, BLESS, space, and then the amount. Now, this is after, obviously, you've gone and donated to the Octavia E. Butler Memorial Scholarship Fund, which I have just put up there, a link to that. So that right there is the link that you can go to. You can take PayPal, credit card, any of those sorts of things. Once you've done that, then you come back here and you're going to go D&D donate, as I said, space bless, space again, and then the amount that you donated. That will then add to the bless total that currently exists in Arcana Spot. If you want to curse them, and I mean, again, I don't know who would do that, but, you know, let's just say, then you would do exclamation point, you would go and donate to, again, the Octavia E. Butler Memorial Scholarship. You would come back and then go exclamation point D&D donate, space, dash, curse, and then space and the amount that you have cursed them. Once the will tells me, okay, check and see who's leading, then we see who is ahead, whether it's bless or curse, and that requisite effect will happen. Now, one thing I do want to mention before I shut up and let Will take it from here is we are working somewhat based upon the honor system here, and so we are going to be able to check periodically. So we are hoping here that everyone is going to be doing this on the basis of money that actually was donated, not just, let us call them, aspirational donations. Like, you know, it would be nice if I ever had thought to do that. Because in all seriousness, this is an extremely important charity, particularly now, and it's one of the reasons why all of these lovely players and GM have agreed to support it. And so this is how you do it. So again, it's exclamation point donate. That will give you the link to go over to Octavia E. Butler Memorial Scholarship and donate. Once you do that, you come back and go exclamation point D&D donate, space, dash, and then either bless or curse, space, and the amount that you want. So, for example, Shadowed Mage has just donated $2 to the Octavia Butler Memorial Scholarship and chosen the Curse special option, getting us started real nicely. So that's where we're at. So right now, Curse leads by $2. I hope that won't take long to fall. But in any case, that's what we're looking at. So if anyone has any questions, you can ask my mods or myself. But otherwise, Will, that is, I think, what they need to know.
Excellent. Let's curse him.
No! We can donate, right?
Can we donate?
I mean, like, I'm donating. I believe in the Carl Brandon Society.
Some mysterious donator has just added $1 million to the bless column.
Yeah. Beat that, guys.
All right. If there's nothing else, let's get this story on the way. Who's ready to play some Dungeons and or Dragons?
Yeah.
Dragons.
Dragons? I've got 1 vote for Dragons.
Dragon.
I want both.
You get one or the other, Carlos.
Curse Carlos.
I want Dun Brands.
Dragons.
I think in the entire life of gaming, I've never actually fought a dragon. So that's what I'm going to say.
You're missing out, but I hope you don't expect to get that here. We're not fighting any dragons. Or are we?
Or is he lying?
Or if we get enough curse dollars.
Tiamat, here we come.
I was about to say that, yes.
All right. Ready?
Let's do it.
In this place, there are many worlds. Worlds that touch other worlds, overlap one another. Each slice of each world all touch one, a central world, a nexus called Rithnaut. Most worlds are ignorant of this, but their people see doors and portals, and most of them end up here, and the people of Rithnaut have created a haven for those lost and wandering, relying on the research of an organization called the Archivists. For generations, Rithnaut has lived in peace, creating new homes, jobs, and families by those displaced by such wild magic. There are a select few, though, who can travel between these worlds at will, and the Archivists have spent their time researching these people, the God-touched, and a strange star that has been inching ever closer, which has suddenly vanished from the cosmos. But something is wrong. The sky is dark with the night, though there are no stars to be seen, as though they had been taken away or covered. Grand Archivist Tara has released a loud, magical plea for help to any heroes who could hear her. The tower is being invaded by the Duke Aaron, who has strange powers, ranting about interdimensional travel, and is flooding the tower with monsters. You, the God-touched, have arrived at the base of the tower after hearing the call and realizing that you no longer have the ability to hop planes. You rush into the base of the tower to see what's happening and hopefully find out what happened to your powers. The door magically slams shut behind you, and you hear the hum of a magical lock trapping you inside. The welcome room is not so welcoming. Slashed portraits cover the stone walls. Tables and chairs have been toppled, crushed, destroyed, and in the debris, cake, never to be tasted. On the other side of the cake is a door to the next room.
Wow.
You say cake?
Cake.
Cake.
Said cake.
Never
Cake.
to be tasted.
That sounds like a challenge,
Destroyed
Nomi.
in the debris of this room. How's that make Nomi feel?
Listen, Nomi's been through some rough times. Nomi has been known to, to make a meal out of whatever has appeared before him. So when we say this cake is quote unquote never to be tasted, is that like hypothetical, or is there like an unblemished dollop of icing somewhere?
That's taunting.
Is it taunting? I think Nomi, being a gnome, could probably find a small shred of cake that could be tasted with maybe just a hint of dirt on it.
The best of food has a little bit of dirt on it.
So how much of a time crunch do we have here? I mean, are we rushing in? Do we know, how badly things have gone sideways? I mean, should we prepare before we go further, or just rush in?
You're aware that there are monsters here, and monsters are, always a threat.
Yeah.
Right. I will have my hand crossbow loaded and pointed at the far door.
Okay.
I go to listen at the door to see if I can hear what's beyond it.
Excellent. Would you roll me a perception check? First roll of the game.
Yeah!
Yay!
Woo!
Ooh!
19?
All right. So you hear a very faint sound on the other side of the door, an echo, like almost not a shriek, but like a haunting cry.
Y'all, I hear a haunting cry on the other side. We should proceed with caution.
Can I
What
cast,
kind of cry? Oh, go ahead.
can I cast aid on the party? At least my at level 4, so it covers the 5 friends. That'll give you guys 8 hours of extra hit points.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Excellent.
Nice.
So 5 temporary hit points for everybody. Seems
Well,
like the
you
proper
keep
way to
track of
prepare.
Can
Sorry?
I hide behind the
Will,
cake?
are you keeping track of that?
Yes, I can keep track of that.
So it,
Right.
it looks like am I right, Will? It's 5 per level. So if I cast it at level 4, it would be 15.
Yes.
So it's a second level
For each
spell
level above 3rd.
for each level above 3rd. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so it'd be 10.
10.
Okay.
Got it. I am making notes.
I am eating cake.
Is it poisoned?
It is not well done. It's a bit stodgy in the middle, underbaked with a soggy bottom.
Can I hide
But it's
behind-
yours.
Taylor?
I want to hide behind the cake, even though I'm looking at it with disdain.
There is shattered bookcases and chairs in the middle of this room, and cake that Nomi is eating off of the floor.
With class.
In
With
the middle
class.
of this room, and you want to hide behind the cake remains.
Yep.
Roll a stealth check.
Love it.
Well, it looks like I'm hidden behind the cake, Will.
I don't know that a 16 is high enough for you to hide behind cake in the middle of a room while everyone is watching you.
Right.
I see nothing. I don't know where did she go.
Freeze.
Thank you, I'm saying.
Ridiculo is gonna go up to Saris with Lil Rick on the shoulder and said, "Do you think you can crack the door a little, and I can sneak little Rick in there so he can explore for us?"
Hmm.
How we feel about that?
Sure.
Cracking the door open?
I will be positioned by the door to whack anything that comes in.
Okay.
And Ridiculo, being ever so fearful about every little thing, flattens himself against the wall, has little Rick in his hands and says, "Now, little Rick, be very careful. Hug the wall, stay in the shadows, be like the night, but fly softly and relay to me all the information that is in that room." And little Rick being,
Okay, so Little Rick, you have the Pact of the Chain, which means that you can like sense through Lil Rick. So
he feels, I feel.
Lil Rick goes through the door and he climbs up a set of stone stairs. It's very narrow, it's very dark, and Lil Rick does not like that because just like Big Rick, he's scared of most things. And he gets all the way up to the top to the platform and comes face to face with a door. And Lil Rick is also very afraid. He hears the cries through the door, and they're still very faint. He's not sure exactly what it is or whether it's it coming from this room, might be a little bit further away. But he does suddenly feel very scared and then skitters back down the stairs to you.
Oh, so I embrace little Rick to my bosom and say, there, little Rick, my poor little Rick. And then I say, it looks like there is another door that we could go to relatively safely with more wailing and screaming on the other side of it, but this door seems fine.
Who's
there
got the
light-
best armor?
I have chainmail, but what I want to know is does anybody have a light source?
There are torches to go around in
Okay.
this room.
Okay.
Hey, Will. I
Hey,
have
Taylor.
reliable talent, so I don't think I can roll less than a 21 stealth, can I? So am I hidden behind? That's what I want to know.
Yes, rules lawyer that shit.
I still don't think that a 21 is high enough to hide behind cake, but sure, I'll let you have it. You get to like sneak up behind the cake and like get down really low, and then you start like putting the cake on your hand to like use it as camouflage.
That's perfect. Thank you.
But
That's what I
as she does that, can I like slowly spoon off the cake?
wanting,
So
okay?
the level never rises because I'm constantly tasting. It's buttercream, and Nomi loves buttercream. So
Well, clearly
No,
our
right.
work here is done, so we've won the campaign.
Yeah, mission accomplished. We ate the cake, you guys.
Thank
I
you.
am going.
Yeah.
You were talking about chainmail.
Yes, I have chainmail. I am going to take point unless somebody else wants to do so, and I will open the door and edge out into the corridor.
Right, I will be behind Yun's character with my hand crossbow ready to shoot over his head.
Ridiculous. Happy to take the middle between other parties and right there ensconced.
Just so that we're clear, Charisse is taking front, going upstairs, and Hassan has the hand crossbow loaded and pointed to shoot.
Above him.
Okay,
So
sure.
as soon as I tell him to duck, he ducks.
Free action. Duck.
Totally fine.
Okay.
Have we opened the door yet?
No.
we're planning. We're making preparations.
Yeah.
Is it like two
Ah,
people?
well, to
Alright.
make sure this is explicitly clear, at present, the crossbow is pointed up.
Right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's
Gotcha.
Safety first.
Okay, so our marching order is Charisse, Hassan, Big Rick.
I've got scale mail. I can go next.
All right. Finlu is next. And neither the bard or the thief want to bring up the rear. No excitement here, just cake.
Nomi reluctantly lets the last spoonful of cake drop back onto the thief who is hiding, and exchanges the fork for his pan flute because that's what he does when he gets nervous.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Are you going to be playing?
You know what? In knowing that we're going to try and be stealthy, he's going to hold off on playing for right now. But when he gets nervous, he will let a melody trill.
Okay.
Okay, now that everyone's gone, can I search the room for treasure?
Yes, absolutely.
You were so good at this.
Warned you.
Okay, so the rest of you open the door and go up in this marching order. And, as you all trickle out, Selena starts like going through all the different like bookshelf debris and like scooping this cake to the side to make sure there's nothing under it. And all Selena finds are like old boring papers that mean nothing to her. Like, you're sure that some accountant or bookkeeper somewhere of some kind would get a thrill out of this, but they don't make money. You're not going to sell these anywhere. So,
Is there any way for me to like read them and find out if they can be useful later or something? Is there any use for these? Can I find out?
there's no use for these. These are
All right.
Just like in all accounting, there's no
Like
use.
just making really sure. Okay.
mhm.
All right. I guess I'm gonna like extra reluctantly join up with everyone at the very back.
Okay. So, Charisse, since you're taking point, you get to the top of the stairs, you get to the platform. There's a wooden door there. You hear the faint crying. It's not much louder than what you heard below.
Mhm.
but you do get like a very cold chill that passes through you as you walk up the end of the landing.
Okay, great. I opened the door.
All right.
Quick question. What ancestry is Charisse?
She's human.
Human. Okay, I just wanted to make sure she wasn't a dwarf or something, so I can still adequately hide behind you.
She's human, and also her dump stat is like wisdom, so
That makes two of us,
we're doomed.
which is why we're at the front.
I'm just going to say there is a lot of wisdom dump stat. In
Oh,
this
yeah.
game.
Really good pickpocket, not very wise.
Okay. Charisse opens the door and she kind of takes a first step into the room, and I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
Oh,
This is going to be interesting.
Going back to the cave.
Close.
Ooh.
Chat.
Oh,
It is a
16. Excellent.
Yeah.
So you walk into the room, and that cold chill that you felt earlier just washes over you a lot more, and you feel terrified. But you have the resolve, you push right through it, and I'm going to pause here because I want to know what the current blessing to curse ratio is, Greg.
Oh, oh no.
Oh, we're doing good. I just saw it. It's 197 bless to 92 curse.
Well,
Wow.
Wow.
Good
so
for
something
everybody.
funny happened on the way there. So we have another 50. First of all, Bless is now leading Curse by just about $50. It was up by a lot more than that, and then people started getting real mad and started deciding to curse. So at the moment, Bless is ahead, but it's fading fast. Also, we've raised $669 so far for Octavia Butler, so let's keep it up.
Hey.
Let us keep
Fantastic.
this going, and yeah, I think if you ask me then in the future, I'll just add a little echo effect for double. So at the moment, Bless is leading.
Bless.
Excellent.
So we need to hurry, in other words, while we're still blessed.
Right.
Selena, as you're going, you're like getting ready to leave the room and follow everyone upstairs, and you just get this feeling that there's a brick out of place in the wall next to the door.
ah.
And you pull the brick out, and there's a just leather bag, and you pull it out, and there's a dagger that has these amazingly beautiful flowing runes just carved into the blade, and it's glowing just a little bit.
That's amazing. Do I get to keep it?
No.
No.
You do get to keep it.
Can I tell what the runes say?
You can't, but I am putting this into your character sheet so that you can see how cool it is.
Ooh, it is cool.
Hey, Will, can I ask, was that an official Bless result or not?
Yes.
Okay.
That is a
Because what that means is we are set it up so that we then reset, you see, the donation
Yes.
total contains. So now I'm going to ask Shadow Mage to reset, and chat, you will have another chance to bless these players. at
Curse.
this moment.
We're trying to curse. Just so that everybody understands what we're trying to do here. You are supposed to be cursing these people so that I can torture them a little bit.
Why would
more.
you say that?
But I'm giving us
Oh, it's
cool runic weapons because I'm in
love. It's all love. Curse.
I like
Curse
to
is love.
agreeing with Will and saying that you should definitely keep blessing us. Just as because this dagger is cool, and I want everyone else to get something cool also, so that I can steal it from them.
All right. So Charisse pushes through the wave of fear that washes over her. And on the other side of the wooden door is a small room. A stone staircase winds around the back wall further up the tower. And just over the stairs is a small window with iron bars that shows outside. A chandelier shakes in the center of the room. There is more cake on the floor. And as soon as you see it, a translucent blue woman appears over it, hovering. You can see right through her, and she reaches out with a hand, her ghostly face twisted in rage. "Don't take away our cake." The terrifying shield shakes you to your core as two other wraiths appear in front of you and charge.
Turn dead.
Sorry, what appeared in front of us?
Yeah, what appeared?
I didn't hear that.
Oh, they're ghosts.
Oh,
I'm attempting to turn to dead.
Ooh.
Nice.
We're gonna roll initiative,
roll that initiative.
and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
100% you can
Boom.
turn undead. Taylor, it's a 20.
Guys, how do I roll initiative?
Just find the initiative on
Oh.
your character
Oh,
sheet.
whoops.
I
There
pressed
it
it.
is. There it is.
Yep, there, Yun is there.
Did that work?
No,
Yes.
it didn't. Oh, it didn't?
No, you did not.
No.
I have Selena, Charisse, and Big Rick.
There you go, Sarwat. You're there now.
Okay, what did I get?
10.
10.
Okay.
Nothing good. All right, so there we go. All right, I think that's everybody. So Charisse is going to be first with a 21, followed by Selena with a 20. You guys are keeping it really tight because Hassan has a 19. Big Rick, oh no, Nomi with a 13. And then Big Rick with a 12. And Finn Liu coming in absolute last with a 5.
Speed of cleric.
The one person we needed up front.
I know I'm like, we should play.
Yeah, having Finn Liu go here probably would have been really smart. But that's not the case. So this ghost woman who is wearing she is wearing ghost armor and has a ghost scimitar, and she is gonna float with all her might at Charisse.
Mhm.
And she is going to that's a 25 to hit.
Okay.
I'm assuming that that is above Charisse's AC.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to. Where is my AC? I think it is. Yeah,
You
her
have-
AC is 17.
17, yep. Okay. And this is Lieutenant Russell Sword Wraith Commander, and she is mad because you are near her cake.
Hmm.
So with her ghostly scimitar, she is going to hit you for 9 damage.
Okay, that comes off the temporary hit points, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Next we have Charisse.
Do I need to take an action to draw my sword?
Nah.
Okay. Cheris will attack the ghost woman back.
So much violence over cake.
That's,
Yes.
Yeah. But you should understand that, right? Nomi loves
Oh.
cake.
Is Charisse blocking the doorway, or has she
Yes.
entered the room?
So, Charisse, you are just standing in the middle of the doorway, and your companions could move through you.
Could I mean, is it possible to take a 5-foot step like in Pathfinder, or?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can move, just into the room, closer to the guys.
Yeah, I'll move closer to the ghosts.
Yes, okay. And then attacking with your longsword.
Yes. So I rolled a 25.
It's pretty good. That's a hit.
That's 13 damage.
All right.
The dead have no need for cake.
Is it ghost cake or regular cake? That's what I want to know.
It is regular cake, which is why it's on the floor.
Mm.
It does look ghostily chewed.
Ah.
Does Nomi still want to eat it?
Yes.
I'm trying to find the boundary of where Nomi won't eat the cake.
Same.
Listen, you're gonna have to search a little harder because
Ghost cake ain't gonna do it.
Nomi's been on some rough performance tours, and times are hard. Nobody appreciates. They don't appreciate the pan flute like they used to.
I'm still trying to figure out what ghostily chewed means.
I know, me too. It's like, can they interact with it? I guess they can if they can hit us with stuff. Anyway.
It's just a light spectral nibble, you know.
I'm gonna get that on a t-shirt.
A light spectral nibble.
A light
spectral
spectral
nibble is definitely going in my next book.
It looks like Charisse has left us.
Oh, was damage included in Yoon's roll?
Yes.
Yeah.
But Charisse has other actions. So that's okay. We will move to Selena and we will come back to Charisse when Yoon returns.
Can I take advantage of Charisse's commotion to try to like sneak into the room and hide in the shadows?
Yes.
Do I roll stealth?
Yes, roll a stealth check.
28.
That hits.
So I'm hidden.
Yeah, you are hidden. So with this commotion, you move around the side wall into the shadows while all three ghosty folks are paying attention to the clash with Charisse and Lieutenant Russell. And that is just movement.
Okay, so I still have an action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can I sneak attack?
100%, yeah.
Yay!
Cool. I'm gonna sneak attack with the short bow.
Okay.
So do I just click on the short bow to do that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So you got a 24 to hit, which is good.
Thank you.
I guess also I assumed that you were attacking Lieutenant Russell, which is the same one that Charisse attacked?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Anything else from Selena?
Am I still hidden?
Yes.
Okay, then
They are distracted.
Okay, can I save my bonus action to react next time if something bad happens to me?
So you want to hold for if somebody like attacks you or moves in your direction hostilely?
Yes.
Cool. That brings us to Hassan.
Right. Well, while the lieutenant is being stabbed by Charisse and then shot in the back by Selena, I shall step nimbly to the side and then can I do a sneak attack with my scimitar?
On the lieutenant?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine because she is engaged with Charisse at the moment.
Yeah. And so my first action will be just basically come up beside Charisse and then nimbly stab with the scimitar.
All right. So roll your attack. Actually, hold on one moment. I forgot that Selena did sneak attack, and we forgot to roll her sneak attack damage.
Ah, right. It could all be over already.
Right.
Do I have to do something for that?
I gotcha.
Cool, thanks.
When Roll20 decides to, there we go. That's an additional 18 damage on top of the 8 that you had done.
Nice.
All right, Hassan, let's get back to that. I'm sorry. You rolled a 15 to hit, right?
Yeah.
That is a miss. So you go to swing, and Lieutenant Russell kind of sees you at the last moment and like just steps out of the way just enough for you to miss, and your scimitar clangs into the ground as you hit Cake.
And let that
Nomi
be
wringing his hand.
Nomi's going to be eating cake off that scimitar.
Right.
Cake give the
Cool.
scimitar any extra powers?
It does not. Only that it's sticky.
You could use
Hassan,
Right.
what were you saying?
Do I have a move action left? Sorry, I'm not quite sure
Yeah.
what other things, whether that was it.
Right. So you get a move and an attack. You did move a little bit. That's probably not a full move because you can move 30 feet.
Right.
And we're playing fast and loose with dimensions here.
Since we're playing fast and loose, I'm going to use my fancy footwork in anticipation that somebody might try and attack me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we are on to one of these bad guys who sees Hassan attempt to attack their lieutenant, and they're not so happy with that. So this is Private Franklin, the Sword Wraith Warrior, and he is going to attack Hassan. And he is going to kind of like put head down and charge at you, and then bring up a long sword and take a strike at you.
No! How terrible. Well, I'll try and get out of the way.
Fancy footwork.
Yeah.
All right. He brings the longsword down, and with your fancy footwork, you see it coming, and you just dance around this guy, and he doesn't stand a chance of hitting. That brings us to Nomi.
Eat the cake. Eat the cake.
So there is a lot of violence and chaotic devastation happening around this cake, and no one is really truly taking the cake into consideration. So Nomi wants everyone to he just wants to get everyone to calm down and understand that cake unifies, it doesn't divide. So is it possible for Nomi to, can he cast a spell at this moment?
Yeah, 100%.
Nomi wants to try and cast the spell Calm Emotions.
Are you attempting to calm emotions on a ghost?
Is it possible, if the ghost is so angry about cake, maybe we can, flip it and just get the ghost to understand the positivity that cake brings?
Listen, as the resident ghost expert, I would say that you could calm a ghost's emotions. That's my 2 cents.
I am 100% for this.
I need to get my ukulele.
Okay, so these 3 ghosts need to make a charisma saving throw. So what is Nomi's spell save DC?
Oh, that's, I have that literally right here.
It's okay. I do. It
Perfect.
is 16. So let's see. I guess I should see what these things. Charisma is, shouldn't I? That's something that I should know.
Ghost charisma.
Ghost charisma.
Charismatic.
Yeah.
If they were more charismatic, they would share the cake.
All we are saying is give Kate a chance.
Where's my pan flute?
These ghosts are rolling very well.
Uh-uh.
Damn.
I don't like that.
Mm-mm.
He tried.
Okay, so I got 18, 19, 18.
Jeez. It's ridiculous.
Not call.
Why are the ghosts so charismatic?
Yeah.
They had no bonuses. They
did
just
not-
rolled really well.
Huh.
They are really angry about that cake.
They are very angry about cake.
Cake is serious business, yo.
Especially lately. A lot of big feelings about cake.
So the spell obviously fails, correct?
Yes, yeah. So you, get into your pan flute and you start playing something to try to cast this spell, and you feel like the spell just does not reach these particular ghosts, who apparently are very, very angry about cake.
It's just like that audience in Tuscaloosa, man. I'm just not reaching them.
It happens.
All right, so that's Nomi's action. Does he want to do anything else?
How high is the cake off the ground? It's
The cake is on the ground. It's the ghosts that are hovering above the cake.
Is there any cake in a safe vicinity that Nomi could kind of like rescue or protect while these ghosts are obviously charging at the bigger, larger, stronger, obvious targets.
So the cake is now abandoned.
Well, Nomi's making a beeline. He's making a beeline for the cake there. He wants, this one might have a little fondant on it, so Nomi has to investigate while he has a chance. You get the cake while the getting is good.
Okay, so you move your 25 feet towards cake, and then we're gonna move on to Big Rick.
So Big Rick is terrified of dying, and seeing a ghost, which is the result of dying, terrifies Rick even more. And little Rick, who's basically like the id externalized, is even more terrified. And so what happens with Rick is fight or flight, as it does with anyone. And at this moment, he's turning into a machine gun of eldritch blasts. He's just taking his fist and aiming it at the lieutenant and going, "Ah!" Eldritch blasts are flying, and he's doing his best to aim, but who knows?
Okay. Are you targeting only one? So you can divide it up to 3 different targets with your machine gun Eldritch Blast, or you can just 3d10 a single one.
So if I do it on one target, would that move the target back 30 feet, perhaps into the cake?
No.
Hey. Oh.
Okay, it would just be 10 feet for the 3 blasts?
Correct.
How far is the cake from?
It's per
from
target.
Oh, it's per target. Yeah. So
Yeah.
So how far is the ghost from the cake right now? Like about 10 feet?
The ghost from the cake. So Lieutenant Russell is about 30 feet from the cake.
Okay.
And the other wraith that had been attacked, Private Franklin, is about 25 feet away from the cake, and then the third one is still pretty close, but like 10 to 15 feet away.
Okay. So I'm gonna just target the lieutenant because that's where my fear is coming from. But all 3 blast toward the lieutenant.
All right, do it.
All right. Here we go. Eldritch Blast time. Here's 1.
Oh no.
Here's 2. Ooh, here's 3. Okay. Probably 2 hit.
Yeah, I think this damage is outputting wrong, but that's okay. Yeah, so that first one definitely misses because it's a critical failure. You rolled a 1.
Oh, did I shoot myself?
You do shoot the cake.
Yes! Critical success, you mean?
To the cake.
So wait, can like Nomi be like spoon aiming for a particular section of cake, and then it's just splattered to smithereens by an eldritch blast, and it just stands there and just looks at Big Rick like, again?
Sorry.
Yes, I love it. I love it so much. So your other 2 do hit, and so you hit Lieutenant Russell, so you shoot the cake first, right out of Nomi's grasp, and then you shoot Lieutenant Russell, and your Eldritch Blast has the power to knock its targets back, and so it knocks Lieutenant Russell back into where the cake had been, so that it looks like Nomi is actually going to like eat part of her ghosty like foot, the like misty trails like coming down because she's ethereal, and then you do a bunch of damage.
Should maybe I re-roll that because that didn't look right to me either.
I'm just gonna keep the first damage.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So anything else Big Rick wants to do? Any moves or bonus actions or anything like that?
So just remind me quickly, how big is this room?
Like 60-ish feet by 50-ish feet.
So basically, like, can I take a left and try to get out of the way of people or I should say ectoplasmic Americans as far as I can from them?
Sure, yeah. You would be following Selena, who is hidden in the shadows of the room. But you don't see her, you just kind of follow in the same way.
Yeah. I'm just gonna sort of wander in there and be like, I know she's here somewhere. Do you see her, little Rick? So
Feed the cat.
Okay. Let's go. So Yoon is back. So Charisse had attacked Lieutenant Russell at the beginning of the round, and you get 2 extra attacks, Charisse, because you are a fighter.
Okay.
So do you want to go ahead and roll those real quick?
Sure.
So the first one is another critical miss, another 1. And so Charisse goes to attack Lieutenant Russell, and the sword goes right through her and gets lodged in the stones below. And it takes you some effort to hoist your sword back up, and you do so well on the second roll that you hit for 14 damage. And now that we have finished that, we're going to go to Finlu.
Was there another ghost that needed to attack? Not that I want that to happen, but
Yes, he goes after you.
oh, he goes after me. Okay, cool.
Yes, that's how poorly he did in
Somebody's slower
initiative.
than me. Okay, well, I'm trying to turn dead.
Okay, so you walk into the room. You are turning undead.
Yeah, so I'll have to probably step up next to Charisse and, brandish my mistletoe and be gone from my cake.
Be gone from my cake. That's what I need on a shirt. So they, each undead that can see or hear you. Okay, so each of them are going to make a wisdom save. Oh, that's looking good for you.
Pretty serious piece of
Wow,
music.
that is
Yeah.
pretty good for you, isn't it? Okay. So all three of them, well, I guess what is your, I'm assuming that your spell save is above 12, which I think it is. It's 15. Yeah. Okay. So you step up to the room and you stand just a little bit in front of Charisse and you put up your shield and mistletoe, and light bursts forward from this holy symbol that you are brandishing, and each of the three of them look at you immediately and just scatter into the walls, becoming ethereal and just disappearing forever.
I get this a lot.
Yay!
I get this a lot. Yeah.
I get this a lot.
Okay. Excellent combat. We got through one single round. Everybody clap for our heroes who have completed their first combat. Yay! And with that, we're going to do our second check, Greg. We're going to look at this bless versus curse ratio to see whether I am going to do bad things to you or if you get something.
The current curse, bless, status is bless 50, curse $80.
Uh-oh.
Yay!
You can't
Um,
right?
Hassan,
Don't look at me.
seeing these ghosts
Yeah.
reminds you that years and years ago, your mother cursed you.
Mother, it's just a misunderstanding.
So I want you to make me a wisdom save
Oh,
at
there you
disadvantage.
go. Right. Oh, right. So do I roll twice?
Yeah, roll again.
Uh-oh. That's
that's
not
a-
good.
That's a 4.
Yeah, that's a 4.
So Hassan, you have been overcome with fear. And you will make your next several checks or attacks at disadvantage because of how afraid you are. And this curse kind of just lingers in the back of your mind that something is after you.
It's my mum.
Listen.
There's just no escaping her, frankly. The horror, the horror.
So that is the end of combat, and you all did very well. So now you're in this room with the door at the other end of the hall, and the cake dashed to bits.
No cake at all.
No cake.
Poor
I was
little-
this close.
I was
like-
gonna steal you some cake.
I was mid scoop before someone randomly let fire.
Randomly,
Just,
2 out of 3 hits. It's like a 667 batting average. It's great. I'm like a major leaguer.
If you're
That's-
aiming for the cake.
I
Well,
want to look out the window and see if I can tell what is out there.
The town, the village that you would have come into,
Okay.
it's like a small market village that usually runs supplies up to the tower so that the archivists don't, starve or forget to go outside into the world.
Okay. I think we should go up the stairs.
Let's go.
So I go up to your character again, and I'm like, wait. Let's let little Ricky have a look. And
Okay.
so I go to the store, and again, I'm going to plant myself against the side of the wall, kind of just listen at the door and see if this one yields anything.
You don't hear anything up these stairs, no.
Okay, so I'm going to instruct little Ricky as before, and little Ricky, yes, sir, is going to be ready to go, and give him a little Ricky boost there, and off he flies.
Okay, so Lil Rick goes up the stairs, doesn't really feel anything, and it's the same, narrow, dark stone stairs. And when he gets to the top, there's no door, and the room that he's looking at is one huge circular room with a closed door on the other end. And the only noticeable thing in the room are some statues.
Hmm.
Oh no.
So, am I able to communicate with Lil Rick as
Sure.
he's okay? So I'd be like, Lil Rick, let's have a closer look at these statues. Look for inscriptions, faces of agony, as if they had stared into the face of a basilisk or something.
So Lil Rick walks up to the nearest statue,
Flies,
which has what?
Flies? Little
Flies.
straight wings?
Yes, flies. To the nearest statue, and there is a plaque in the floor right in front of the statue. So Lil Rick lands right on the floor in front of the plaque, and the only words that are written on it are "confess to me."
So I'm going to turn to the group in my starry-eyed state and say, confess to me.
Nomi is immediately going to break down. It says, I did it. I ate the last slice of cake. I apologize. It wasn't even my birthday party, and I ate it, but it was so good. It had a jam in the middle, and it was fantastic. And he's going to start weeping.
And then I'm like, no, that's just what it says on the statue. There's a statue there. It says, confess to me.
Oh, he's going to wipe his eyes. It's like, okay. It wasn't me then.
It wasn't about
But
the
it was
cake.
a healing moment. I felt it.
Little Rick flies back into the room. I take it there was nothing else of interest for him to encounter there. Is that right?
Just the six. There's a couple statues, not just one.
Oh, how many were there?
6.
So I will report there are 6 statues up there. They often come to life, these statues. We should probably take precautions.
Are they 3 either side, or are they clustered together? What's the layout?
So it's a big circular room, and the statues are surrounding the outer wall.
Okay, got it.
I don't like this at all.
Nomi still kind of sniveling, because he was really confessing. Is going to go up to Finlu and, suggest that Finlu proceeds first. So that we don't waste the cake this time and it get blasted to smithereens, just in case any more undead spring out.
Sure, no problem. Could we send your little friend back up to see if there are inscriptions by the other statues? I'm assuming there probably will be.
You mean Little Rick? I should send
yes.
Little Rick up there?
Yeah, Little Rick should go look.
Okay, so I will follow the instructions. And your character's pronunciation is not Finlu. Okay.
Finlu.
So I bow to his wisdom because I have none, having used it as my dump stat, and send little Rick up there to take a look, looking for those inscriptions.
Okay. So each of the 6 statues has the same plaque, and they all say, "Confess to me."
Interesting.
And we don't have any previous knowledge of this from our previous exploration of the tower.
Nope.
Interesting.
And what do the statues look like? Human, a humanoid? How are they dressed?
So, the first statue is a gnome family covering their ears.
No.
Wait.
The second statue is a fencing instructor. The third statue is a worried mother. The fourth statue is a king dressed in red.
Oh dear.
And then a man being laughed at by a crowd. And finally, a pirate with a wide-brimmed hat.
So it seems like these are pretty specific statues.
I don't like this.
Anybody else feeling like personally attacked by these statues?
They did not have their ears covered. Okay.
They have their ears going, "My mother doesn't worry. That's not how this works."
Okay.
They really did laugh at me, like they laughed me right out of town. So
how is it that these statues are even here? I mean, that's crazy.
It's uncanny.
Magic.
Nomi is really pulling out the pan flute now, and he's just, soft little melodies to kind of calm himself down. It's
theme to Titanic.
Oh no, that doesn't calm me down. That makes me cry.
I'll die.
It's the bad flute version of the Titanic theme.
Selena is unmoved by the Titanic theme song.
All right, so we're going upstairs.
Yeah, I think we've each got a statue.
Okay, so we make it up the stairs. The room you enter is one huge circle and has no cake. On the floor are shards of broken gems that radiate with magic that are difficult to see from afar. The ceiling, it seems, is incredibly far away, as though it were enchanted. At impossible heights, the ceiling is dark, filled with stars and constellations. There are 6 constellations, though each one is just slightly off, and after closer inspection, it's clear they're each missing a single star. Shards sparkle and shine against the faux night sky. Directly across from you is a door, and lining the circular walls on each side of you are statues, each holding a plaque, which I'm not going to read again because I already did that.
So I just kind of like turned to everybody. It's like, so each to their statue?
I guess so.
Right. I wander over to the pirate with the hat and have a peek under the hat. Is the face vaguely familiar?
So it's a statue, so the hat doesn't come off. Oh, you're looking. Okay, you're just looking at the face. Yeah, it's your mother. It's your mother.
Right, Mum. I know that we've not got on as well as we could have. I mean, ever since you made Dad walk the plank over the shark-infested sea for my birthday, and I know I should have got over it by now, but I didn't even have cake. There's just so much trauma going on today. It's as though every single aspect of my past life has come back to haunt me. I know that he's a no good, swashbuckling scoundrel, but I loved him. And then I'll have a little weep. But you're still my mother. I want you to be proud of me. And then I rub my little security scarf, and then reminisce about the slaughters and the pillaging and the villages that we burnt together. Great times indeed.
So the enchanted night sky above you, where the star from the constellation you recognize was, that star now twinkles to life.
Yeah.
And you hear something behind the door make a click sound.
Right. Right. I give the statue an extravagant bow, and I head towards the door, but I do not go through it.
Okay.
That's it.
That was
Wow.
super deep.
That was a lot.
That was a
actually.
lot.
I'm gonna be
I remember
honest.
this is a circle of trust. Nobody else hears about this.
I'm making 0 promises in that regard. Just gonna point that out.
So my statue looks like a bunch of people. Is that right? Like there are a bunch of people laughing?
Laughing at someone, yes.
And like if I step into the right position, are they all just sort of laughing at me?
No, the person is a person. And it's your stage, like your stage magician place, but people are laughing at someone else, and he looks like vaguely familiar as like somebody that you may have pulled a prank on in the past.
Oh.
Wow.
Like someone that maybe like was on a stage that I was familiar with that I sabotaged?
You know, maybe.
You know, and this is news to Ridiculo, whose selective memory is like expert level. You know, wisdom 3, but like ability to forget things 25. So you know, so he's just kind of squinting. It's like, who are you? Did I do this? He's really trying to recall, staring deeply into the face.
And you do kind of recall at one point that you know, people who you brought up on stage and made a spectacle of, and maybe went a tad too far once or twice.
Oh no. Esto es lo que yo lo sé. Yo no entendía en el tiempo que yo era tan hijo, en ese tiempo que iba a hacer, pero and I just collapse in tears and start crying. And little Rick, you know, sits on my shoulder, patting it profusely. I say, no, it's my fault. I'm a terrible person. I was hungry. I was playing tricks on the street, and people were taking my stage time. If I got them off the stage quickly, then it was more time for me, more money for me. I was hungry. You have never been hungry, none of you.
So the constellation above you, the missing star twinkles to life. And again, behind the door, you hear click.
Oh.
Okay, is the worried mother my statue?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to it. Do I have any money?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna walk up to it and sort of shrug and like put a coin down in front of it. Like one of the medium valuable ones, not the most.
Okay. So the constellation above yours, it twinkles to life. It's not super bright. It's not
one more coin.
it kind of shimmers for a second, and like the star is like, yeah, okay, fine. And then it turns on and you hear the click behind the door.
Okay, cool. Can I hide behind the statue now?
Yes. Roll me a stealth check.
Nice.
Am I hidden?
All right. You hide behind the statue as everyone else is having deeply emotional, traumatic moments.
We take advantage of those.
Anybody else?
I wasn't sure which statue was mine.
The fencing instructor looks very familiar to you.
Okay, I go up to the statue and I bow, and then I kneel before the statue and say, I'm really sorry, instructor. I have done my best to be a protector to the weak, but I am having a hard time, and I know I have not always been as brave as I could have been, and I'm just sorry that I can't travel the different universes and offer my sword to those who are in need of protection right now.
So the constellation above you, the missing star, twinkles to life and connects everything together, and you hear a click behind the door.
I go to the door and wait.
Okay, I'll go next. I know which one's mine. It's the king. I'll go up to him and kind of glare at him and say, "You're responsible for the death of my family. You hired an assassin to poison my wife and child. You took my lands. You made me an exile from my own country. I can't even say your name now. It's forbidden to me to do this. However, it did make me who I am, and it made me into a cleric, and it turned me into a healer of men and women, and it made me a better person. So I suppose you're looking for me to say something good came out of it, and I suppose it did. And I guess I'm not completely overwhelmed with vengeance anymore, but..."
Oh, hold. The shards around you that are on the floor begin to light up faintly around you as though they were a star, like just glimmering and sparkling, but the constellation is not particularly lighting up for this missing piece.
So, I will find you someday. I will find you someday, and there will be reckoning.
The shards on the floor, several of them form together and are just shining super brightly, and there's a click behind the door.
Okay.
I really 100% thought that this was going to be Selena, but I'll take it.
Is that Nomi? Okay.
Is Rick done?
Oh yeah.
Is Finluke done here?
Yeah. I guess I'm done. I got my click.
So Nomi reluctantly heads over to his statue where they are holding their ears closed, and Nomi puts away his pan flute and removes the horn from his pack, and he slowly begins to play a somber tune that he has constructed of his own. It is a woeful melody. It's supposed to be a tearjerker, except his hands are still sticky from all the cake he's been eating. He slips and misses notes. And instead of being somber, it's kind of hilarious. And in disgust, he throws down the horn and he's like, "Fine, you were right. You were right."
And as soon as you throw it down, the star in your missing constellation blinks to life in the click behind the door, and the door now kind of opens just slightly.
And then Nomi pulls out his drum pad that he has had in storage and starts tapping out a tune as he marches to the door.
Okay.
Now that definitely no one's looking at her, Selena whispers that she loves her mom and she's gonna get all the treasure she needs to get her a house.
Oh.
She doesn't want people to know.
Okay. Behind the statue, you do notice some weird scrolls and crumpled, dried pages, as though they had been stashed here on purpose.
Can I look at them?
Mm-hmm.
Can I?
These are kind of research notes from the archivists. And they talk about how the God touched, which you all are, wink, wink, not, used to be called the Starborn a long time ago, and that their power to move through the dimensions comes from their ability to utilize light from stars to use them like highways through the multiverse. And the archivists found out that the same power can be temporarily manufactured from the ore of fallen stars.
Oh.
Interesting. So I'm hiding reading this and no one else knows?
You've got a really high stealth check, so I imagine that you're doing this while everyone is having their like deeply emotional moment.
Wah, 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 wah.
Okay. Can I beckon just Nomi over to me to see what he thinks about the papers?
Yes, sure.
What?
Nomi, you see Selena from like, she's like crouching behind her statue, just like.
Okay, I'm gonna head over there and I'm gonna drop into the, I hope everyone knows what's the toddler crouch where you're like, you try to, if you have kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Where you're not sitting on the ground, you just drop down to the ground and you're in your crouch with your hands on your knees. And I'm like, what's up? Is there like more cake here or like, what are we doing?
I wish. So I'm gonna show him the papers and see what he thinks. Mostly because I think he's like the least power hungry of everyone. So he's gonna give me a more objective opinion.
And least powerful too.
That's to be determined.
Do I have any sort of wisdom or perception or anything about these that will give me any insight or you know how they could be applicable, you know, to us in our next adventures?
So remember that one of the reasons that you are here is because you, as God touched, have lost your ability to dimension hop.
Mm-hmm.
And you assume that that has something to do with whatever is going on in this tower of monsters and mayhem. So the other thing that the two of you could probably extrapolate is that these shards that are on the ground are shards of this ore from fallen stars that they're talking about.
Hmm.
I wonder if we should like collect
I feel like we should.
the shards. I mean, I've got sticky hands from the cake, but
I'm saying.
if I just like kind of roll my hands around the shards, do I like come up with like
a bunch?
Okay. And are they glowing or
no?
They're not glowing. They're just shard. I've got shard. Okay, but that really ruins my ability to eat cake in the future.
Also play most of your instruments.
I might play them better, but
seems like you can't go anywhere but up from here.
yes. So I'm just walking like this
Okay.
with my shards.
Can I take advantage of his funny shard cake hand dance to put all the rest of the shards in my pocket?
Yes, 100%.
Cool. I'm doing that.
Okay.
And for now, I'm not going to tell anybody else about the papers. Can I just keep those two?
Yes.
Although I feel like everyone's gonna see the shards on my
I
hands.
don't know what you're doing with them.
I've got shards, guys.
And I'm just like, hey, Nomi, if you don't tell anyone else about these papers, I will sneak up and steal you any cake that we come across from now on.
Nomi is like mums the word, and he like tries to do this, but he has shards. So
almost cuts his lips.
Yes, you just hear a bright yelp that echoes.
Perfect.
All right. So everyone else has gathered at the door at this point, and Selena and Sticky Starfinger Nomi brings up the rear, and the group is now together at this door.
Nothing to see here.
Nope, not a
He's got his hands behind his back so they can't see the shards, but they're knocking against each other, so they're tinkling a little bit every time he walks. So
I think it's just one of your other weird instruments. It's no big deal.
I got wind chimes.
Yeah.
Don't I have?
I
Yeah,
think
I've
Big
went
Rick
down.
would be clueless, but Little Rick might hear that tinkling and start exploring back there.
Okay.
Too late. They're all gone.
So he's just sort of like flying around mosquito-ly, kind of like looking at the shards, kind of sniffing at it, and just hovering
Yeah.
around Kwame's character.
Not
Nomi.
not buzzing, but definitely that same like pattern of like just zipping around. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like dragonfly, like
Yes.
that pauses, moves over, zipping around like that. So, but not necessarily like Big Rick has no idea. He's not concentrating on that right now.
I do love Big Rick.
We all do.
So everybody has gathered at the door,
Which is a little bit open.
which is a little bit open.
I'm
So,
Have a peek through.
Okay, have a peek through. So you peek through
With
and
my hand crossbow pointed ahead.
right. So you open it and it's another very narrow flight of stairs upward.
In which case I stand aside and wait for Little Rick to flit his way up.
oh,
Okay.
yes, Little Ricky, where are you?
Before we get to Little Rick's part of this, let's do a little pause, Greg. And why don't you tell me whether we can bless or curse these fine adventurers?
The current status of Bless Curse is Curse 98, Bless 71,
All right.
Octavia E. Butler Memorial Scholarship $1,018.
Well, that's good
Hey,
news.
we
All
broke
right,
it.
thank
All
you
right.
for that.
Thank you so much, everybody in chat. That's amazing. That is a lot of money.
Really
We're
want
very
to kill you
thankful.
guys.
Also, those of you who blessed during that round, I said I was going to send you book plates, so I'll be in touch with you after the game to get you some book plates.
Whoa, are you bribing people?
Totally bribing people for a good cause.
This is a
Also
straight up
wanna
bribe,
win.
yeah.
So, question: are you picking people at random to bless and curse, or is it like since I already went, now everyone else has to go before I can be back around?
Everyone would have gotten a chance to be blessed at some point during this, and now two of you will not be. And the way that this is looking, you might be the only one.
But I can still get cursed, though.
What's that?
I can still get cursed though.
Everybody gets cursed together. Good things I will hand out as a personal thing. Bad things happen to everybody. Welcome to 2020.
Right? No kidding. I love it.
Plague us, DM, plague us.
Yeah.
And now this.
So let's continue. I'm going to hold this curse in my pocket for a couple minutes before I do some bad stuff.
Oh no.
Meteor swarm.
So Lil Rick is buzzing around Nomi's sticky fingers and then goes back to Big Rick, who is looking for him to go up the steps. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So Lil Rick goes up the steps, and it is the same as it has always been. It is stone steps, very narrow, a little dim. And when he gets to the top, there's just darkness. He doesn't see anything.
So I forget, do sprites have infravision or ultravision or any of the dark vision?
I believe, you know what? Before I speculate, let's be 100% certain. Heart sight. Nope, that's not it. None of the above.
Rats and cats, so.
However, there's a certain rock gnome with dark vision up to 60 feet who has shard fingers,
Yeah.
which is like an upgraded version of jazz hands. You just like shard fingers.
I picked the right hour. I can tell.
But Nomi, you're down here, and what we need you to see is up there.
Yes, and so with steel nerves and shard fingers, Nomi volunteers to I'm assuming, you have communicated with Little Rick had seen nothing but darkness with the rest of the crew, and Nomi now knows this. Nomi volunteers to head upstairs and peek at what's happening in the room above the stairs.
Okay.
Little Rick is going to cling to you, by the way. Very afraid.
Okay. So Nomi makes his way up the steps. Are you trying to do this quietly, stealthily?
How stealthy can I be with my shard fingers? Like,
not very.
Okay.
I will let you roll stealth with disadvantage because of your star fingers.
All right, so do I click disadvantage?
Yes, that works.
And then
stealth.
Hit my stealth. All right, guys. All right, listen. Here we go.
Oh,
Nomi.
Listen.
Go on. I'm listening.
What had happened was it was a narrow staircase, and Nomi was still practicing his shard fingers. He's a performer, and he accidentally hit these stone walls going up with his shard fingers, and he couldn't stop the shard fingers, so it's just rattling as he's walking up the stairs, and he forgot he's supposed to be stealthy. It happens to everyone.
happens to everyone.
It does. Shard fingers gets the best of us.
Can I
okay.
follow him and hide and cover him with my bow, or is that not allowed?
You want to stealth up behind Nomi, who is waving his star fingers around.
Listen, never mind, okay? I mean, he's drawing all the attention to himself. I could get to a hiding place near him and keep an eye out. Can I do that?
Okay, so do you want to stay at the bottom of the steps and look out for him?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. Why don't you roll me a perception, Selena?
Okay.
To watch Nomi's back.
23.
Oh, that's okay. Yep. Okay. So Nomi makes his way as stealthily as he, wants to at this point, which is not very much. And he gets to the top, and there's a landing. There's an archway that does not have a door. And inside this archway is just pure, total darkness.
Now,
from inside, you can hear some banter, but you can't really make out what they're saying.
And is that darkness even with Nomi's dark vision?
Correct.
Okay, so this is perhaps some enhanced darkness per se, or
yes.
Okay. Listen, Nomi has never been super stealthy. He wasn't raised to be stealthy. He's a performer, but he can project with his voice to reach far distances because of growing up as a performer. So he's just gonna turn and kind of make a shard finger cup over his mouth to yell back downstairs to everyone, and say, "It's really dark up here, guys. I can't see."
I thought you said that Nomi's dump stat was strength.
Yeah, right?
Listen,
hard to watch his head back, I'm just saying.
Peril makes fools of us all, so.
Okay, that's real. Okay, so everyone downstairs, you hear Nomi shout, "It's really dark up here."
Working too, by the way. So.
Oh, you know what, Will? Nomi has now he's only ever used this for performances. It's kind of like a little razzle dazzle, but he does have the dancing lights spell.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna cast that.
We're gonna well. Should Nomi wait for backup that are stronger and with better weapons? Or is he just gonna go in shard hands blazing?
Listen,
I'm on my way, man.
Yeah,
I wonder loudly whether this darkness may be some sort of spell that even a vaguely competent spellcaster may be able to dispel or do away with. If only we had an even vaguely competent spellcaster.
If only.
Nomi's like,
And
is
then
he talking about
very
me?
purposely and look towards Big Rick.
Right. I like that Big Rick is just like, who are we talking about? You
Yeah,
guys?
what?
Vaguely competent, Carlos. Vaguely competent.
So you want me to go up there?
I'll go first. You can hide behind me, Cheris says.
Perfect. So, yes.
It's my job to be the meat shield.
Hovering from the bottom of the stairs with the bow.
So
Okay. So Big Rick is going up the stairs
behind
Charisse.
Charisse, right?
So does that make Finn, Lou, Selena, and Hassan are all staying?
No, I would head up too.
I'm gonna,
I'll head up with them.
and likewise, I will follow up behind Finn Lou.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay hidden with the bow.
In the statue room?
Oh, I thought we were in the stairwell.
Oh, you're in the stairwell. Yes, yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna stay at the bottom, but it's a straight stairwell, like I can see up from where
Yeah.
I am. Okay, I'm gonna stay hidden with the bow at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. So everyone is in the stairwell. And the door to the statue room shuts itself.
Mm.
Don't like that.
And so we're all in the stairwell. Nomi, I believe you were going to play us some music.
Let's hear it, buddy.
See a light show.
For the dancing lights. All right. Yes. We're gonna. It takes a little bit of effort, and remember, I have shard fingers. But we're going to attempt to cast the dancing lights, and which is, I believe, it summons 4 magical torches or whatever that kind of pirouette around me as I'm putting on my solo act or whatever.
Basically, a disco ball descends from above.
Or that.
No.
Okay. But Nomi's going to summon. I don't have to roll anything for this.
No, you're good.
Okay.
But I do want you to roll a performance check to know how good music you are performing, because you have to perform to cast. And I do want to have ammunition to tell you how bad you are at music.
You don't need ammunition to do that. But so a performance?
Yeah.
At normal, not disadvantage?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
I think the shard fingers make it better.
I think they absolutely should enhance, but
okay, so not great, but not bad.
That's what they always tell me.
So you send your dancing lights into this darkness, and when they clear the threshold of the dark barrier, the darkness just kind of zaps away, as if magical.
Forever.
And for this next part, before I read my little monologue about what this room looks like, I'd like to introduce you to some of my new friends.
Oh no.
Greg, would you mind introducing some of our new friends?
Oh.
Friends?
Hey!
This can't be good.
And there goes the neighborhood.
All right, give me 1 second, everybody, whilst I
Actually,
get this
I
all
feel so much
captured.
less outnumbered now.
Right now, chat doesn't see anything, but they're about to. Hang in there.
Well, they don't know.
They don't know yet. I'm going as fast as I can. I can only go so fast.
Oh my god.
Give Greg a second, chat.
Yeah,
Chat.
sorry. There's no way to do this ahead of time.
You are gonna flip your cookies, chat.
It's going to be a super dramatic chat. I can't even tell you how unbelievable this is going to be at the moment.
You can't wait.
Going as fast as I can. I want to point out that when this was set up and they said, you want how many extra windows? The person designing my overlay was like, all right. So we're using here what we call max overlay. I just want you to all to be clear that this is
All right.
This is maximum overlay that you're about to see here. Also, I'm hyping this beyond belief, so this better sell off as well as I can.
You cannot hype this enough.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. Okay, almost. Bear with me. Almost. Sorry, I had to keep it secret from the players. See, if the players knew, then this would not be a problem. Okay.
Can everybody hear me? Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for coming.
We have a fabulous storm going on. Like really, you might see some lightning behind me, and it's pouring. So I hope our electricity doesn't go out. So if I do,
I'm super jealous of you.
Nice.
I'm going even
Wait,
faster
you guys
if I
all
can.
look great. I'm in pajamas and I just
I'm the
finished
same, Jen.
rewatching.
Thunder and lightning.
yeah.
Glad you guys joined us.
Aw.
Okay.
So awesome. Gracie, you're in New Zealand. What time is it?
Hi, it is currently 1:59.
Tomorrow.
Not AM. PM,
Right.
PM. In the future.
Right.
I am from the future, of course.
It's so
Gracie.
awesome.
Okay, I think we're good to
Gracie,
go.
is 2020 still awful?
Yeah.
The future is down.
Great.
Okay,
Good
we
to
are good.
know.
We are good to go. Are you ready, Will? Do you want to set
Yeah.
anything up? All right, here we go. The heroes windows will be out of sync for a moment, but in the meantime, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to these new folks. All right, and somebody will probably need to mute themselves. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Up. Yay! Everyone's like, yay!
Yay!
All right, I'll fix the windows elsewhere, but otherwise, you folks are good to go.
Yay! Everyone's like, yay!
Oh, somebody needs to mute
I'll
themselves.
fix the windows elsewhere, but otherwise, you folks are good to go. Yay!
One of the new folks will need to mute themselves.
Somebody needs to mute
I'll
themselves.
fix the windows elsewhere.
Yeah, it's.
I think
actually-
it's either Gracie or Jen.
Okay.
Good now.
There we go. All right.
Okay. Exhausted from your fights, you wind up the stairs to the next floor. The air is clean and you feel something electric. There is no door. Instead, the stairs lead right into a large open atrium with a vaulted ceiling with an enchanted roof that emits a dim light. There are several doors around that are all surrounded by bookcases. Some are small, but the one directly across from you is made up of cleaner, more polished wood. In the middle of the room is a long red carpet surrounded on each side by tables. And in the center of the room, walking towards you, are 4 people. Hassan, leading the group of bandits, is your mother, the pirate queen. Her sword drawn, leaning on her single peg leg, ready to fight as soon as she sees you. Gracie?
I'm horrified.
Hassan, my traitor of a spawn. We meet at last. Aye, aye. It's been
Right,
much
I
too long.
draw out my scimitar. This is for Daddy.
It's been much too long since I sent you to that village and you betrayed me. How dare you steal that treasure chest full of athlete's foot cream? And from your own mother and queen at that, you knew how much I needed it. You know more than anyone how damp and moist and fungusy those lower decks can be. If you'd bothered to call or FaceTime or a simple WhatsApp would have sufficed, you would have heard that I had to part with my foot, my favorite foot, and now I wear a peg leg. thanks for nothing, son. Now, give it back. My second
Never.
favorite foot has
Never.
also succumbed to the affliction, and I swear, if I end up with 2 pig legs, I will double curse you to never drink a hot cup of tea ever again. Now hand it over now. Also, son, your parrot has been pooping all over the gangplank, so please come collect him when you have the chance, won't you? Love, mummy dearest.
I hope you're taking good care of my parrot. And after all,
hold
your
on,
2
Sarwat.
peg legs don't compare to how many limbs Dad had to replace after that swim with the sharks.
1 second. So while we do this, because of time and our villains, I'm going to ask that all the players just hold on 1 second as we get through this, because it is going to be a minute. Charisse, you see an old friend from the village you abandoned and someone you used to spar with, fully grown. There's vengeance and fire in her eyes. Rebecca? Rebecca, you are muted. Rebecca, you are muted.
Okay, am I unmuted?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hail, Charisse, you foul fiend.
You are muted.
Okay, am I unmuted?
Yeah.
Once my fine friend, do you even remember me? Because I remember you. Let me jog your memory. A hot summer's day at the annual Fox Spirit Games competition. A certain purple backpack full of delicious snacks that did not belong to you. And your face stuffed full of shrimp snacks, again, that didn't belong to you. They were mine and you took them, just like you took everything else that belonged to me. They the pencil with a puffy eraser in elementary school, the best plate to make an offering to the fox spirit, leaving me with a chipped one, so everyone laughed at me. And last, you took my pride. Well, the time has come to confess your crimes against me and to face my wrath. I am not a fool to challenge you to a weapons fight. When you left to pursue the study of the blade, I became a hot dog vendor, traveling to local fairs, summer carnivals, etc., etc. I do not doubt you would be easily beat me at swordplay, but are you brave enough to meet me on the battlefield of food? Let us revisit that fateful day of snack stealing and the Fox game so long ago and see who could snack the best. Only then may my soul rest, knowing that I am the best snacker and you are unworthy of the crumbs in the bottom of my bag.
Ridiculo, you see a man from your last show who oh my God, it's late and words are hard. You see a man from your last show who had pranked in the crowd. He looks frustrated, and when he sees you, his eyes go wide and he puts a big cudgel in his hand. Rashani?
You stole everything from me, Ridiculo. You knew that my beloved refrigerator AI wife, Cool Betty, was planning to leave me, and yet you had the audacity to mock me in my lowest moment. Is your refrigerator running? Then you had better go catch it. She's too far for me to reach, and for that I blame you. Your pranks cannot save you. Your jokes will not charm me. As you know, I physically do not possess a funny bone. I will crush you with my empire of electrical blankets and toasters. I will sizzle the laughter from your body. I will make sure that you end up toast. Although again, not really, because you never started off as bread. Just know that I will have the last laugh. And I mean that metaphorically, since I am physically incapable of laughter. It is true, my diaphragm seizes up. My physician is very concerned, but not as concerned as you should be. Once I get my adamantium elbows into your ribcage. This is for you, Chill Betty. Come back to me, please.
Selena, you see the lady of the house from your last heist. She looks frazzled, and her clothes aren't quite as fancy as you remember, even a touch disheveled. Jennifer? You are muted.
You dirty, rotten thief. Do you have any idea what you have done to me? Maybe to you it is just a mask, but to me it is life. Do you realize that I cannot attend another gala, wine tasting, yacht party, or even poker night with Oprah? I am a laughingstock. And worse, I have been uninvited to Paris Fashion Week. My invitation to the Beckham's Cotswolds home has been revoked. Even the Kardashians want nothing to do with me. And do you want to know why? Because People magazine put me on their worst dressed list just because my puff sleeves were 1 inch too big. 1 inch. So I am going to present you with a deal. Give me back my mask, and that will be the end of it. I will not hunt you down. But if you don't give me back my mask, I will hunt you down, and I will rip out your spineless spine, one vertebrae at a time, and use it for a centerpiece.
Wow. I'm terrified.
Dang. Before we move on, chat, let's give it up for our villains.
Y'all are incredible. Thank you so much.
Party, how do we want to deal with this?
We don't.
We're gonna
Run away.
Listen, I distinctly noticed that some of us didn't have arch enemies or villains approach us, so I'm just gonna shard finger out of it and let y'all.
There are only so many of you authors.
Wow, a mask. Can I
take out the great treasure, which was the golden coconut cream of the gods, and hold it aloft, pointing to it and say, nah, 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 you'll never have it.
Oh no.
Can I respond?
Yes, please.
I take off my pig leg and I boomerang it around to hit his head, whack on the side.
No.
And it
I think
comes
we're
back to me
rolling.
and I plug it back.
All right.
That's a roll for initiative if I ever heard it.
It is. We're gonna say that is we're not resolving that peacefully. So let's see if we can get to that point where we can resolve things peacefully or not with everybody else. Charisse, do you have something to say?
I know, I was the worst. I shouldn't have eaten those delicious. I mean, I shouldn't have eaten those snacks, even if they were really delicious. And I have so much repentance in my heart, and I will come back to the Fox Spirit Village and make all the offerings so I can appease all the spirits.
Rebecca, you are muted again.
Will you bring nacho cheese?
I will bring you jalapeno nacho cheese.
Oh, well, then you are forgiven. I think that we can create a friendship over nacho cheese with jalapenos.
Oh. Yay. Okay, so that is resolved. Ridiculo or maybe Selena, do you have something to say here?
What the mask does? What does the mask I stole from her do?
So it is a death mask that you stole from me that gives me access to Xibalba, the Maya underworld, where my fantastic high fashion tailor resides, making me magical clothing.
Okay,
That's what I was gonna say.
Can I pretend to give it back to her, but then at the last second, like use my proximity to steal her gold bag?
Can you roll me a sleight of hand for that?
Yes, I can.
Whoa, holy crap. Yeah. So do you intend to actually give the mask to her and take the gold bag? Okay. So here's what happens is Selena comes forth with the mask and offers it up, and at the last moment she takes a step back. You don't notice anything else, but she's not interested in handing it to you. How do we feel about that?
Well, I will just whip out my other little magic mask.
What is that?
It's a mini-
Okay. And
and
what
it's
does this
even
one
more
do?
powerful. It's even more powerful, and maybe she will swap for me. I mean, it doesn't give access to the underworld, but it does other amazing things.
What does it do?
What do you want?
What do I want it to do? Can it make me invisible?
You know what? I could talk to Itzel and Shibaba, and she can do anything. So I can have her give you that power, and then we could swap and make a trade.
Okay. If it makes me invisible, I'll trade.
Deal.
I did not think this one was going to end peacefully.
I don't need access to the Mayan underworld. I just need to be invisible so I can steal more stuff. Plus, I already have her gold, so it's cool.
You're not supposed to say that part out loud.
Listen, I rolled a 30 sleight of hand. She doesn't know.
She has no idea.
She's never gonna find out.
30. That's ridiculous.
All right, Big Rick.
So I am going to. What was the name of the man that I wronged? I missed the name. I'm sorry.
VR Beta.
VR. So I'm going to approach VR Beta. VR Beta. May I call you VR? I once too could not laugh, but I turned to the joys of prestidigitation to allow me to understand how beautiful laughter can be. And I can give this gift to you. It will be so important to me to right this wrong that I have done for you. We can cast the spell right now. It's something that I learned in my extraplanar travels. It is called a knock-knock joke. Will you participate in the spell with me?
Yes.
Okay, so here's how it works. I'm going to say knock knock as if I were at a door knocking. And then you, on the other side of that door, will wonder who it is and say, oh, who is there? And then I will announce partially who I am, but you won't quite understand. And so you'll say, who? And then I will complete the incantation and your diaphragm will be fixed and you will laugh. Are you ready?
Yes.
Knock, knock.
Is that you, Chill Betty?
No. You're doing the incantation overall. Let's try this again. All right. You're going to say who's there.
Okay.
Knock, knock.
Who is there?
Europe.
Europe who?
No, Europe who?
Oh no, my God. How it Jesus.
You laughed! I cured you where doctors failed you! Ridiculo has saved the day! Come give me a hug. Do you hug?
No.
Oh, well, at least you laughed.
You don't hug in this blazer.
Am I forgiven? I made you laugh. Your diaphragm is fixed.
It's fixed. All right, fine.
Fist bump.
All right. Fine.
Excellent. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so that completes the portion of this where we need our guest villains. So once more, please, everyone give it up for all of these amazing people who really came through and helped me out to make this part of this adventure super, super powerful and awesomely quick. Like, I can't tell you how quickly the four of them helped me out and put this part together. It was mind-boggling. So thank you all very much.
Everybody, thank you so much.
Goodbye, good night, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.
All right, give me just a second. They're all going to leave and all the windows break. That's fine. I'll fix them. We're back in the other window.
Okay.
By the way, current update, we are up to $1,165 for the Octavia
Yes!
Butler Memorial Foundation. So let's keep it up as we continue to move forward. Also, Bless is winning pretty sizably over Curse this time. So I guess they feel
Oh,
bad.
I was just going to ask.
Oh,
So
if that's an
that
official
helps.
check, then
That's, yeah,
give me a
let's do it.
status,
Let's
Shadow.
make it happen.
Shadow, give me a status if you can, please. Or one of the mods. Can somebody give me a status? Bless 102, Curse 45.
All right.
Yes. Okay.
So,
Cake?
Yeah.
No. So, the three villains who we made peace with descend down the stairs away from us. The Pirate Queen, however, has a bone to pick. However, suddenly she feels very inspired by her son's ferocity in this situation and says to Hassan, I know that you're not a god touched like these other heroes, but it is incredibly brave and powerful of you to choose to go through with this very dangerous task. And she hands Hassan her enchanted dread scimitar.
Well, I tell her that everything I do has been inspired by her relentless courage and bravery. And if she intends to remain queen of the high seas, then perhaps one peg leg is enough. And in exchange for the dread scimitar, I will give her the golden coconut cream of the gods.
She says, thank you, and I hope next time we meet on the seas, we'll be under better circumstances. And then she descends the stairs also.
Right, and I give her a flourishy bow, and perhaps even a little bit of fancy footwork at the same time.
Get her on her way out. Is that possible?
You want to what?
I want to pickpocket her on her way out.
Give me that sleight of hand.
Got
Oh, gosh.
Well, she just lost her scimitar. It's the right time.
So you walk up to her and you go to just go right into her deep pockets, and she grabs your hand and shakes it. Look after my son, and then she walks away.
I did my best. That's all.
Selena, that was closer than you imagined.
I'm like, is she wearing a ring I can take off during the handshake?
Her grip is very, very firm.
I've tested my luck enough with the Pirate Queen, I think.
Mm-hmm. All right. So now this room has bookshelves and such, and a door at the far end, and tables that are usually meant for studying and reading and such.
Are there any math textbooks?
Math textbooks? Sure.
Just checking. Fighters need hobbies too.
I love it.
You find a wealth of geometry books, as well as do at your own pace puzzle books that are all arithmetic.
Can I take one of the geometry books?
Sure.
I'll
Yay.
take one do at your own pace puzzle book. I will absolutely enjoy that.
All right. So you tear the covers a little bit with your star shards.
Paper shredder hands.
Can I see if there's any treasure in this room?
Yes. Roll a perception for me, or an investigation. Roll an investigation for me. Anybody want to do anything else in this room?
Look around. Is there anything that might help us?
Yeah, towards our quest.
There are more texts about the archivists and the study of stars and starborn and their ability to travel through planes. And particularly, there is text that you find about their tests putting the fallen star ore together and using it to will yourself to travel through the planes.
So now they know my
Wow.
secret. information.
So Nomi's gonna like look at the shards at his hand and then look down at the text and then look at the shards at his hand and then look down at the text and like kind of scratch his head with the shard hands.
Oh no. Nomi draws like a little bit of blood.
I forgot about that.
But does he open a portal though?
He does not.
So Ridiculo and Lil Rick are kind of consulting together on these heavy tomes, and they're trying to see if their arcane knowledge allows them to penetrate any deeper than, say, a layperson could do.
Yeah. So what Nomi can't figure out that you can is that in order for this to happen, the shards have to kind of be put together. Like they can't be separated. They gather energy as one. So since they are shards, they're broken.
Oh.
They need to be put back together.
So, you know, I say to Nomi, we need to put your hands, or the shards on the hands, or whatever. We have to put them all together again.
So Nomi like claps.
That sounds painful, man.
So Nomi claps, and you do draw blood on each of your fingers. But as you do, the shards like light up a little bit, and you do feel your ability to like dimension hop return briefly.
Now wait, is that like, can Nomi can Nomi make the connection that that's because of the clapping and bring it together and not because of the blood?
Yeah, because I think that Big Rick probably would have explained that to him.
You see, Nomi says, you know, explication happens here.
Taylor, what did you roll for your investigation? Oh, that's not good. That's a 9. Okay.
Can I like hide behind one of the bookshelves and try to put the shards I took together?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Stealth or something else?
Everybody else is distracted, so I don't think you need to do that. But so you kind of hide and put them together, and you notice that like as you're thinking about putting them together, they kind of magnetize to one another in a way that they are all becoming a cohesive rock unit.
Is Taylor still there?
I think she froze.
Okay.
So
that was shocking information you gave her there.
It is.
That's what happens when you put the shards together. See? See?
Bad news.
Fell through a portal.
She's gone. Okay. Let's assume that Selena is hiding and putting her rock together.
That's how stealthy she is. She disappeared from the stream.
Awesome. Okay, but I'm still talking to Nomi, and I'm like, when you put your hands together, did you feel anything?
I felt something. You know, I thought it was painful.
Yeah. This time, put them together, but without so much slapping. Just nice and gently. Put them slowly together.
I think Finlug was going to say something.
Oh, forgive me.
Same thing. Can we try to fit them together? Do they fit? Can we borrow Nomi's hands?
And no. Nomi painfully extracts the shards from the now, the not so sticky cake hands and kind of dumps them in a pile in front of Ridiculon and allows him to do his assemblage that he was trying to explicate to Nomi.
Okay. So they're all kind of like bloody and sticky and smeared with cake.
Do not want. Okay. Well, Ridiculo, who
is something of a germaphobe, takes out a very fancy hanky and just starts trying to shovel and maneuver and slide them together using his arcane knowledge and his inability to touch gross matter and combining them together to see if he can make them magnetize and jump together.
Okay. Yeah, as you start to, push them together with your fingers, they start to magnetize together just like Selena's did. But you notice that some of these shards still have like smears of blood and like pink frosting on them. And so like inside this complete rock unit is like still shades of red and pink.
Right. So I'm going to use my cantrip, Prestidigitation, which allows me to create a bunch of minor effects, like a little splash of water or a puff of air. And so basically I'm going to like wash and blow dry them, gently by using Prestidigitation.
Okay. Yes, 100%. That's so creative. Yeah, so you clean them all up and then they magnetize together, and as soon as you pick up this completed rock, you two briefly feel the ability to plane hop return.
Oh, okay. I think we've got something here, and just kind of trying to maneuver them not too closely because I don't want to accidentally teleport somewhere, but I'm like, I think we've got something coming together here.
So you feel this for a moment, but then it's fleeting. It goes away again as though something is blocking it now.
Huh. Can I probe that feeling any deeper?
Sure.
You're a very nice DM. You have no idea what I'm doing, but thank you.
Welcome back.
Yay!
Sorry.
You were so stealthy.
I was so stealthy that I disappeared.
So, Ridiculo, when you probe your mind, and with what you learned in these books, you kind of have this feeling that there is something in this tower that is blocking your ability to dimension hop, just like you felt earlier. But while this magic should let you do this anyway, because it lets anyone, even without your powers, do this, it's still being blocked, specifically by something in this tower that is close. There's something wrong with these astral highways that you take advantage of.
Can I use the shards almost like a compass to get a direction as to whether we should be going left or right or?
Nope.
Okay.
There is only one door. Low wisdom,
helpful.
Big Rick.
So I'm gonna say it's like I have no idea what direction we should go, but it does feel like we're close.
Let's go back to Selena before she had her big disappearing act, who is hiding behind a bookshelf and has put this magic rock together.
So it did get put together. I cut out before that. Okay. So what's it doing? Is it like glowing or doing anything cool?
So what you feel is that it gets put back together, and very briefly you feel your power to dimension hop return before it goes away again, which is what I was just explaining to Carlos.
Okay. Can I if I'm hiding, can I beckon Ridicolo over to me like the same way I did with Nomi and be like, hey, I want to tell you a secret?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Big Rick, you're being beckoned. And you're on mute.
You're muted.
Sorry. So, yes, and little Rick's and like, yes!
So I'm gonna show him the rock and the papers that I found in the statue and tell him that I'll give them to him for a price.
For
for a price, but we're all here to try to go to the tower and open things up. That's what we came to do.
I'm actually just here for myself and to get as much money as possible and to hopefully get my abilities back. So I'm gonna still follow along with the quest, but if you want the information I have, you gotta pay up.
So at this point, Ridiculo, who's never quite shaken off his own charlatan tendencies, appreciates what he's hearing, but he's going to try to use a friend spell to suggest that maybe she'll just give him the papers anyway, and it'll just be a fair exchange.
Exchange for what?
For friendship.
Oh, I see.
Friendship.
Friendship. All right. How does this work?
What are you casting?
Friends. I can't.
How many of us have them?
So it's a wisdom check or something? I don't know.
Yeah. Taylor, you need to make charisma. Oh no. No, this just works. Oh, no. Carlos, the way that this works is that you have advantage on all charisma checks directed at her.
Oh, but she's not an NPC, so it wouldn't work that way, huh?
It's not like charm person.
Yeah, I think you're looking for charm person.
Ah, forgive me. Yes, let's try charm person.
Okay, in which case Selena needs to make a wisdom saving throw. Whoa.
Wow.
That's
good. Like a natural 20. You are uncharmed. That's ridiculous. Oh my god.
Selena would expect no less. Charm spells don't work on her. She doesn't need friends. She just wants money.
We rolled a natural 20.
I never play again. This is the highlight of my D&D life right now. I have no wisdom whatsoever, by the way.
So after Ridiculo sees his spell fellow, he's like, okay, here's $20. And he hands her 20 gold pieces.
Deal.
Okay.
So I kind of figure, you can have the papers for 20 and figure out what to do with them, but I still want to keep the rock.
Still want to keep the what? I'm sorry?
I want to keep the rock.
The rocks. You can hold the rocks for now till my charm person spell works.
Okay, yeah, try again. You can have the papers.
So, okay, papers in hand. I examine them. Hopefully learn things for my $20.
Yes. Do you recall what Lisa said, Carlos?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
It's just what we just did of putting the rocks back together, astral highways.
Okay. Perfect. So ridiculous. He's like, oh, very
yeah. So you wasted $20.
Right, I wasted $20.
Yeah, you paid $20 to learn the same information that you had gathered from Nomi's, hard-earned blood and stained cards.
Oh, I learned a lot more about certain Selenas in the world, though.
Nomi's just over there like, what's really? That's really?
And, Ridiculo, he's just like, did I do that?
So
anyways.
I guess we start heading to the door?
Yeah.
Are we leaving?
All right. So Nomi is leading the way, it looks like.
He's leading the way reluctantly, staring at his former shard fingers, and he's trying to wiggle them, but it just doesn't have the same effect. And so he's dejected as he heads to the door.
So when you get to the door, you notice that there are musical notes etched into the wood right above the lock.
Nomi stops narrows his eyes, studies those notes. Is that a quarter note there? And turns and relays that information to the group. Guys, I think this is a musical lock, and we need someone to play music to unlock it.
We're doomed.
What? It's how do we have a bard?
He just holds that position for a little bit, looking at everyone like, someone needs to play music to unlock this lock here.
Little Rick, can you sing that song?
And then it all clicks, and he's like, "Oh, right." And now he's choosing between the pan flute and the horn. And I think we're gonna go with the pan flute this time, since the horn failed him in front of the statue. Is there anything that he needs to do, or can he just start performing his solo act?
So, upon further inspection of these musical notes, they seem a little familiar. And they are definitely a song that Nomi used to play at home during practice as a younger gnome.
Is this the song that got Nomi kicked out of his family home?
It is.
No. Poor Nomi.
He has sworn to never again play these notes. They stripped him of his family. Mama Gnome, Big Mama Gnome, who are all the same size gnomes. But for the sake of the party, he must once more delve into his sordid past and play this tune of doom. And so Nomi whips out the pan flute, limbers up the fingers, purses his lips, and begins to play from his heart.
Roll me a performance.
Oh, God.
I feel like his speech was good enough, Will.
Did I not put enough charm into the speech?
I will let you roll performance with advantage because that was a very good speech.
That was normal. Let me know if I need to re-roll it with advantage.
Roll just a second one, and we'll see which one is higher.
Oh.
All right. For the first time in Nomi's long, sordid gnome life, he nails it. Just absolutely every note, every transition. He gets in the groove, and he just lets the music flow out of him. And right at the crescendo, you hear this snap behind the door, and it unlocks.
That was beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Play Freebird!
Yeah. Encore.
Nomi takes his pan flute, smashes it on the floor, pours kerosene on it, sets the pan flute on fire, and hovers over it, knowing that he will never ever top this performance.
So, just
that was deep.
So, does he have no instruments left?
He has no more pan flutes for sure.
He has his voice. The voice is an instrument.
He also has his horn and a drum pad.
Yeah, horn and drum pad.
Didn't you break the horn in the statue room?
Oh, I did throw the horn down in the statue. He has his drum pad.
Okay.
I really need to perform calm emotions on myself after my performances.
Okay, so the door opens, and
Nomi's done his part, so the bigger meat shields can go first.
Are we scouting this room, or?
Oh, of course. Little Ricky. To shove little Ricky on through.
Okay. So The stairs are identical. They are cold, dim, and narrow. But at the top of the stairs is the top room of the tower.
Yeah.
And in the top room, there is a man, the Duke Aaron, who holds a great sword in his hand.
I'm relaying
And
this to everybody. He's got a great sword. You know, I'm kind of like saying this to everybody.
he is looming over what you can only assume is the Grand Archivist Tara.
Mm.
Oh no.
Also in the room is a massive telescope that pops out of the ceiling, and a figure that is gray and shimmering. And there is energy coming from this person to the Duke.
Hmm. So
Okay, so it's Tara, and then the gray. Wait, and then the gray shimmering figure is a third figure.
Yes.
so I've been. Oh, so go ahead.
I will just read the monologue. The top floor of the tower is an observatory with a massive telescope protruding out of the ceiling. A portly man in mail has a great sword out, towering over a dwarven woman in a blue cloak who can only be Grand Archivist Tara. She is on the ground, flinching as you look into the room. "Help me," she cries.
I think
She is pointing to a sulking person on the other side of the room with skin that sparkles like a diamond. The portly man, who is certainly Duke Aaron, has waves of sparkling gray energy that emanates from the sparkling person.
So of course I've just been relaying this in sort of like my half-dazed kind of way to everybody. "Help me," she cried.
she's in like imminent danger. We need to get up there.
Yes.
Yeah. But also, would there be any sense in finding a way of stopping this energy transfer? Turning to the warlock for advice.
Should I make an Arcana check?
Sure.
That seems like a thing to do. Sorry, just getting to the character sheet.
Can we see up the stairs?
No, you cannot see these people, but you can see like into the entranceway of this big room.
I rolled an 11.
So nothing that you're aware of to stop like an energy transfer of this kind. But it does look like this is a person who is like giving energy somehow.
Maybe we just. Oh, sorry.
Do we have an estimate of how far up the gray shimmering figure is? Like, could one reach them with a sword, or are they too high up?
No, they are in the room. He
Okay.
is relaying this information because he's seeing it from his sprite, who is
Right.
Sprite cam.
Sprite cam.
Sorry, is this shimmering person a solid being, or is it some form of energy himself?
A solid being, from what little Rick can tell.
Cool.
So I say to everybody, I can give us the element of surprise. I can make us all invisible, and we can put ourselves in position and then lay siege to them at once.
Yes.
Gather around, people. Now we will all be like Selena. Mass invisibility cast.
Okay.
Invisibility mask?
Or I'm sorry, it's greater invisibility. I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so I think it covers like 6 people or something. So we all ain't there no more.
Right.
So you could cast this on each person individually, but it does only target one person.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do I actually have an invisibility mask?
Oh, you acquired that.
Yeah, no, I figured. I just want to make sure, does it really work?
Sure. Well, sure, we can do that.
All right, I'll put it on.
It lets you cast invisibility on yourself, is what we'll say it does.
Cool. I'm invisible.
So Yeah, I'm going to
Oh,
turn to Charisse.
Ridiculous. Does your spell only work on one person then?
It does, but it lasts a very long time. You won't become
Well,
visible just from action.
Can I make a suggestion then? I think because both Selena and I have stealth and we've got the sneak attack, if she's got her invisibility mask, if you could put the spell on me, she and I would go up using stealth and get first stabs in.
Yes.
Well, I am too stupid to argue, so I'm going to follow your directions. So I am going to cast Greater Invisibility upon you.
Okay. So Selena and Hassan are invisible. Everybody else?
I'm going to, can I cast a cantrip on Hassan, the, what is it, resist? Hold on. Resistance, yeah. It gives him a saving throw bonus, just in case anything happens to him.
Cool. So the next time Hassan does a saving throw, he will add a D4
to
his saving throw.
Can I do two of the cantrips? I can do one on Selena too?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Give him a little bonus.
Can go cantrip crazy.
Yay.
With the invisibility mask alone, Selena was just gonna sneak up there invisible and try to get treasure, but now that there's a cantrip on her, she like feels a slight obligation to actually attack the thing, so that was probably all.
And Nomi is going to cast Good Wishes on those two. And still bring up the rear. Nomi will be the last one up.
Okay.
Selena is reluctantly emotional about all this support, you guys. She's not used to it, but she's very grateful.
So Hassan and Selena are heading up the stairs invisible. Nomi is bringing up the rear. Do what?
Be as silent as possible.
Yeah. You have invisibility cast on you, so you're good.
Does it make us quiet or just invisible?
We're gonna not worry about that because the other characters are distracted.
Cool.
So, what about the other three of you?
So, Lil Rick is still in that area serving a sprite cam right now.
Yeah, zooming around.
So basically, like, I am going to, I can't see Hassan or Selena, but I'm going to wait long enough for me to think that they've kind of gone up, and I'm going to very slowly kind of slink up and just sort of like peer over the top, of the last stair, and wait for things to happen before I burst into the room.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, our parting comments is when you hear lots of shouting and screaming, just get up there as quickly as possible.
What's Finlu saying?
Yeah, no, that sounds good to me. What Big Rick was saying. I'll just kind of stick with him and Charisse, and we'll be ready to leap into combat as soon as the surprise is blown.
Okay, so Hassan and Selena make their way invisibly up to the top of the stairs, and they are like creeping into this room with the three people, and around that time is when this gray-skinned person emanating energy turns to the Duke and says, "How much longer is this going to take? I just want to go home." And there's so much sorrow and sadness in their voice. And they just say, "I don't belong down here. I need to be put back in the sky."
Well, that makes it more straightforward because I was contemplating stabbing them.
Yeah, same. Or pickpocketing them, but I guess that's mean. So.
Well, Mother's given me her favorite sword, so one feels obliged to, use it.
Mm-hmm.
So I try and get to a prime spot behind the Duke, line the point of the sword up between his shoulder blades and just push it in as hard as possible.
Okay.
scimitar attack?
So you should have Dread Scimitar in your character sheet now. So go ahead and use that.
Oh, fantastic. Dread scimitar. Right. Oh,
Okay.
not the best roll imaginable.
Roll this again because he does not see you coming, so you would have had advantage. Whoa, that's not better.
Nope.
Yeah.
Mother's curse is clearly still lingering.
Yeah. Clearly,
So, with such clumsy stabbing, he probably hasn't even noticed we're here. So, Selena, take it away.
So here's what I'm going to say here is that he is so invested and didn't see you coming at all that this is still going to hit and do damage, and you're still going to get your sneak attack damage.
Wow.
Oh, thank you. Brilliant. So how do I do damage?
You already did, and I'm going to roll your sneak attack damage, which is 25. Okay. And then Selena, is Selena actually gonna attack this thing first, or is she gonna try to pickpocket stuff?
It's like really torn because everybody used their like cool spells, and she kind of feels like a tiny bit bad about taking the $20 from Ridiculo. So she's like, all right, I think I can attack and still hide and look for treasure. Plus there'll probably be stuff to loot once this guy's dead. So she's gonna attack.
Okay.
So sneak attack with the runic dagger, which she has.
Right. So you're gonna.
And she's breaking characters because she's never used this badass dagger before, and she really wants to see what it does.
Okay. So roll the runic dagger. I have turned on advantage for you, so it will roll with advantage.
Cool. Oof.
So that is also going to hit, and we're going to roll some sneak attack damage. Not like that, though.
Yeah, fantastic.
I'll take it.
20. Okay. So you both attack this dude with the great sword, the Duke Aaron, around the same time, and he just screams because he now has this huge magical scimitar in like his left shoulder blade, and also a like runic dagger in his shin.
Right. I think that's the signal for everybody else to rush in.
Wait, do I get a bonus action? Do I need to hide if I'm already invisible?
Like an existential question.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I think this actually breaks. Yeah, the spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell.
Wait, it's not a spell though, it's an invisibility mask.
The mask lets you cast invisibility.
Oh, okay. So can I hide now?
Yes. Roll a stealth check for me. You did it.
Okay, but I get 21 because I have whatever that thing is.
The reliable.
Yeah, reliable talent.
Yeah. Okay. So you stab this guy in the back of the leg, and before he gets a chance to turn around, you like duck and roll and hide under this massive telescope on the other side of the room.
But I'm no longer invisible.
You're no longer what?
Invisible?
Yes, correct.
Is the telescope cake?
No.
Fair question. Can I roll perception on the telescope to see if it's really not cake? I'm joking.
Or are you?
You're gonna let me do it.
Well, I think it's time to charge into battle here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if there's an opportunity, I would like to attempt to use panache on the Duke to give the rest of the crew an advantage.
Okay.
So as I draw the sword from his shoulder blade, and he turns around looking really, I said, right, this is your destiny to die here, bleeding and screaming. But I won't deliver it. I shall step aside and let you face justice from the gnome. And at which point the gnome comes rushing in, screaming like a madman.
Okay, so let's get everybody else in here first.
Yes, let's do that first.
That's a lot of stuff. So let's see, where were we? Nomi was bringing up the rear, and Finlug and Charisse were waiting in the staircase area, waiting for the screaming to happen. So everybody charges up. I guess the question then is, who is bringing up the front of this small party?
I'll go first.
Okay. Then let's roll initiative real quick.
Us too.
Yes, everybody.
Okay.
17 here.
Haha. I am very slow. 6.
Okay. Hassan already went. So Ridiculo, you are up first.
So just give me a quick layout of like, who do I see where?
So you come into the room, all the way to the left side of the room is the sparkling gray person who is very sad. And in the middle of the room is the telescope that's all the way in the back, and Selena is hiding under it. And then a bit to the right of that is Hassan, who is facing the Duke Aaron. And then a bit to the right of that is our friend, the Grand Archivist Tara. And she is laying on the floor, and she's between the Duke and some bookcases.
Okay, so I know where Hassan is only because the Duke is kind of like bleeding and like suffering, right?
No, I'm invisible.
Yeah, he broke invisibility because he attacked.
Oh, I thought greater invisibility held it. Am I misremembering that?
Nope, I believe you are correct. So yeah, he is, yes, still invisible.
Oh, in which case I say nothing to the Duke.
Retcon!
Yeah, that makes sense.
I take a little step away.
I'm going to cast Hold Monster on the Duke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Very necessary. Anything else?
I mean, we'll see how it goes. Like,
okay.
You know.
On a wisdom save. Yeah, he failed.
Awesome.
Yay!
So,
nice.
Paralyzed for a minute, basically. And so if I remember right, these rounds are 6 seconds. So we've got like 10 rounds of him not doing anything.
Correct.
Nice.
Yeah, so ridiculous.
Well done.
So at this point, we can actually drop out of combat because there are no hostile enemies.
Just how ridiculous likes it. Sorry, that was a little anticlimactic, everybody. Just like
that was great.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nomi's like, well.
Selena's like, does this telescope come apart? Because some of these pieces look valuable.
Nomi's like, we did it as a team.
Job well done, guys. Job well done. They will write our names down in history.
Mine first. I'm under the telescope.
So what happens now is that the star person like sighs really exasperated and is like, he said that he could take me home. What is, can you get me home?
Where is your home?
The sky. I'm a star. So, you might have noticed there's no stars in the sky right now. So it'd be great if somebody could, teleport me back up there.
I think at this point, Nomi's like, he's tiny, but he goes over and he throws an arm around the star person, and Nomi's like, I am a star too. And I also can't go home. And just lament, just a little, fist bump on the shoulder of the star person, because we're on the same page here. We're both trying to get home as stars.
Is the Duke out of commission now? He's tied up.
He is paralyzed magically.
So can we make sure he doesn't become a problem then and take his sword away and tie him up?
That's a good idea.
Good plan.
Looting the telescope for parts, I think.
And then let's talk to the archivist. What does the archivist have to say? What's going on?
Yeah, we can't afraid.
So who wants to take on the role of tying and disarming the Duke?
I'll do that.
Okay.
I can stand over him with my sword drawn.
Okay. I'm assuming that between the six of you somewhere there is rope and you can tie him up and disarm him and stand over him. And the Grand Archivist, as you're doing this, stands up and like walks over to the star person and is like, we had fallen star ore that we could have given you to get you home, but all the monsters and the Duke, they were all smashed when they came and trashed the tower.
Oh, but we have found
But
that
not all of them.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Not all of them.
No, not all of them. I believe Selena has some. Selena, where are you? Come out here.
I'm under the telescope.
The archivist like raises an eyebrow and is like, what are you doing under there?
And I just say, look, I'm trying to get home too. Seems like you have a lot of money. I have this rock. I have no real use for it. If you can give me all the money I need to set my mom up with a house, I'll give you the rock. I don't even care what you do with it.
You want me to pay you to get this person home?
Yup.
Oh, come on.
No.
I think everyone just turns as one.
Yeah, we're just like.
And she's just like, oh, I had to try it. Fine, here, you can have the rock. It's yours anyway.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Pressure. I want you all to know.
And she takes the rock and gives it to the star person, who instantly like lights up. And the rock in their hand begins to light up as well. And they begin to ascend. And they vanish into the sky. And then suddenly you see out the windows and through the observatory opening that all of the stars in the sky light back up, and you all feel the ability to dimension hop has returned to you.
Fantastic.
You did it!
Yay.
Woo! That was a little anticlimactic because that was the last boss fight, and Big Rick was just like, nah.
That's a Big Rick rolls. He had Big Rick energy right there.
The archivist fight us because I wanted her money, okay? You guys peer pressured me into giving up the rock too soon.
You got peer pressured into doing something nice.
See my character? I need to be peer pressured.
Love it. Oh man.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was totally fun. Oh man. Well,
I want cake.
I know, seriously, like Grubhub, come help me.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think we're just gonna go ahead and wrap up, everybody. First of all, let me thank Will. Everybody, let's just give a huge round of applause for our DM who put all of this together. That was a ton of fun and so
Thank you.
damn funny. Next, I just want to thank all of you authors. That was terrifically fun. Everybody did such a good job. You all such natural, great players. Thank you so much, everybody. Chat, please, wash over them with praise for that great gameplay. What is our final tally for tonight? I have to go back to a different screen.
Our final tally is $1,300 to
Oh my
Octavia
God.
Butler. So it means we made about $1,000 during this event tonight.
Yay.
And yeah, it was terrific fun to actually watch. So $1,300, which is pretty good for a single day event. So
Fantastic.
good work,
That is
everybody.
Awesome, and we're just going to be, supporting writers of color with this money. So it's going to a super great cause.
Yeah, it is.
Let me then take a second to thank Greg for all of the massive back end work that you were doing and all the moderators that you have on your channel here who were keeping things flowing all the way along. It was a terrific amount of work, and thank you so much for doing it all. Everybody, saludos to Greg.
My pleasure. It was an honor.
All right, I think that's a wrap. Thank you, everybody. I think you can advertise YouTube videos tomorrow. Is that right, Greg? They're gonna have this video available on YouTube.
Yes, that's right. They'll have it's a 24-hour thing that you have to wait. So it's going to be on Twitch immediately after this for the next 24 hours, and then it'll be up on my YouTube channel after that. And I will, of course, tweet out the final result. And I think Carl Brandon Society will be pretty happy. So yeah, it will be available to everybody else. We had a lot of people, by the way, in chat who were asking, like, is this a one shot or a longer campaign? Like, are we going to see more, so I'm just saying, oh, and I do want to say that Lava Dragon, I believe is his name, wanted to be clear that that he loved all of these authors and he was having trouble getting his device to work so we could hear everybody, but he wanted it to be said, the message to be said, that he loved all of you as authors and that your books were very important and all that kind of stuff. I should say they, I don't know if it was a he or she, but in any case, they said that. So I just wanted to pass that along to all of you.
Thank you, Lava Dragon. And thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody who contributed. It was a lively, wonderful audience today, and it just made it that much more fun. So thanks, everybody. And I think that's a wrap for us. Good night.
All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you,
Thank
players.
you so much,
Thank you so much to everybody. Good work,
Good night,
all.
everyone. Thank you.
Carlos.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you to
Good night.
Carlos. Thank you to Carlos. Absolutely.
Okay, good night. Oh, and everybody in the chat who donated at the right time for blessing us. If you were there, please DM me on Twitter so that I can get you your book plates.
Bribing people.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you for setting this up, and thanks all. Good
Bye,
night.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that is indeed going to do it for JulyCon, a hugely successful JulyCon, which came together in about maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month. It was 3 weeks to a month maybe that we thought about doing something like this. And I will say that if you combine this with the money that we made from, well, thank you very much. if you combine this with the money that we made to benefit the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, it means that we raised about $5,300 for charity so far in the first, 6.5 months of the year, something like that, seven months, I guess. So it's been great, and I'm excited that we managed to get this done. And yes, I am in my natural habitat. Thank God. Let me tell you, having to figure out a way to get 10. We literally had at one point 11 people on screen at the same time. Try doing that on 2 monitors, like one small monitor and then my laptop monitor for RFBox 2.0. So I'm glad that I was able to do the panels over there, but I was glad that I was able to get the hell back here to use my actual home digs for that. But seriously, and I want to, send a couple of thanks out also to other people as well. First of all, I do especially want to thank the participants. I want to thank all of the panelists that we had earlier today and all of the amazing authors that we just had. Carlos, Sarwat, Kwame, Yunha Lee, Taylor K. Mejia, Rick, Will Sobel as GM. They did an amazing job, and I appreciated that greatly because it was nice to just sit back and watch and handle all the donations and everything else. So thank you, Quicksilver. I also wanted to thank all of everybody. Well, actually, before I get to that, I wanted to thank Carlos Hernandez. As I said, it was his brainchild to do this D&D event, so thanks to him. Thanks to all of the folks for bringing it together. Thank you to Rick Riordan for Rick Riordan Presents for getting a lot of these people who were all part of that imprint together. That was great. And thank you as well to the 4 villains that showed up later on also. The other thing I wanted to mention was I wanted to thank my moderators, and in particular, the mods did really great work and we're here for a lot of the time today. In particular, though, again, I want to thank Shadow Mage. Shadow did all of the overlays. He did all of the commands for this. He did serious work. And as I said before, he's going to get paid for it, but it's not like you can never pay him enough for the amount of work actually that he was doing. So thank you, Shadow Mage, for great stuff. And thank you also to my regulars in chat for maintaining such a great sort of consistent performance in chat, which leads me to thank chat because, we had at peak 271 people in this chat, and we were right around 200, 230 for most of the night. And chat was super well behaved. Everyone was having a great time. We had very few people that we had to time out or ban or do anything like that. And that's a testament, I think, to people wanting to come together in community. And the whole point of this channel is compassion, community, and communication. And that's what we try to emphasize on this channel. And I should also say, while I'm talking about that, that if you like what you saw here, there's more where that came from, because we do a lot of tabletop role-playing on this channel. We do actually 4 separate campaigns on this channel, plus an additional campaign, actually 2 additional campaigns that I do not run, that are hosted on this channel, and 4 that are run by yours truly. And I also have a D&D event because I'm also a writer and a game master myself. So all of that stuff happens on this channel. So if you liked what you saw and you would like to see, for example, Star Wars Scum and Villainy coming up Tuesday morning with me playing, you should follow the channel and you should jump on board and see what you can do to help spread the word about the channel and support here overall. Especially tonight, I want to thank the donators to the Octavia E. Butler Memorial Scholarship. $1,300 in one day for a charity that we have never supported before is pretty amazing work. And a lot of that is just all of the promo work that was done by the authors leading up to this, but a lot of that is just also a generosity from everyone supporting us. And that was really great, especially because, I'm only one person and I can only do so much. And so having the mods on board to be able to handle the rest of this is really great. And I was super grateful to everybody. So thank you so much to all of them. And if you like the vibe here, if you like the fun that we have here, and if you like, being asked to think and kind of working together and loving, gaming and writing and story and all that stuff, may I please suggest that you follow and support the channel as well, because that would be much appreciated. Lastly, I want to make one other last individual pitch, if you will indulge me, and that is I would like to remind everybody that the last day to pre-order my Icarus and Jelinek graphic novels, the print versions of those, is tomorrow. The ebooks have already gone out to the Kickstarter backers. Those are my graphic novels, which also have some of the same themes as some of the things you might have seen, with the exception that there's no cake, as far as I know, in those 2 books. But in any case, it is coming out from Athos Arts, and both Ballsteg and Garlic Tofu here in chat are the Athos Arts dream team, as it were. And they are a small press that does really great work, and not only because of, the amazing art by Acela Fabio and the layout and the lettering and the fact that I'm very proud of the story, not only because of that, but also because of them, because I really think they deserve support also. And so I'm hoping that people will jump on board and support if you possibly can for that. Otherwise, we want to thank everyone who came tonight and remind you that to support the channel, you can follow us here. You can check out the YouTube with !ArvTube, Discord with !ArvCord. Please join us over there. !ArvTube, I said that already. ArvTweets is my Twitter, and you can find all of this on our website for this channel, arvaneleron.com. On the financial side, we have the Patreon, !ArvTreon. We didn't push that very much tonight because the focus was that, of course, but it is there and allows us to do different things for the channel and towards my writing as well, which goes back into the channel eventually, oftentimes. !Arv Shop, you can get merchandise there for several of our campaigns, Infinity and Beyond and Adventures in Middle-earth. And are the sub button, actually, right above that video window. We got something on the order of 250 or almost 300 followers today. So we got a ton of followers, which is great, and I'm very grateful to those of you who jumped on board to follow us, and hopefully some of you will come on back and subscribe and get those awesome custom emotes and stuff like that you saw as well. And I already mentioned Icarus. Also, because of the D&D nature of today, Library is my D&D 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment, Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library, originally presented at Gen Con. That, I think, is going to do it for us for today. We are going to do a raid, since we do still have some people here. And it's not incredibly late for us. So we are going to do a raid, and let me take a look and see who we're going to raid. Raids are very simple. If you are not a sub, you do this, which is the Arvanauts Have Landed, followed by Twitch raid. Lowercase Twitch, uppercase R, lowercase AID. And you will be brought over automatically. You don't have to do anything. You just stay in chat and it will bring you over. But that's what you put when you get there. If you are a sub, though, then you do the Arvanauts Have Landed, followed by Twitch raid. And then Arvane Roar, ARVANE, lowercase, uppercase R, lowercase OAR. And, of course, you got Arvane Hype, ARVANE, lowercase, uppercase H, lowercase YPE. When you were brought over automatically to the stream. Let's see, who have we got today? We have a variety of different people here. Well, yeah, I think we could probably head in this direction, maybe. Okay. Oops. Okay, I know who it's going to be. I now know officially who we shall raid. Okay. So I want to thank everyone for doing this. If you just, sorry, Lizzie writes, if you just cut and paste, thank you, Shattermage, for the Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate it. If you just cut and paste that thing that I linked in chat, then once you're brought over there, you just put that in chat. It's pretty easy, not too difficult. That's all you have to do is just cut and paste, and you're good to go. Okay. I also have a tradition of reading out the names of the people who are on the stream. So I want to thank my wonderful mods today, Arudinel, Hillness, Rockgod, Shadow Mage, Shattermage, especially tonight Shadowed Mage, just because of the amount of work he did in the bot and the overlays. Again, thank you so much, Shadowed. Great stuff tonight. Thank you to my wonderful subscribers, Arudinel, Hillness, Rockgod, Shadow Mage, Shattermage, Echo Alpha, Nonstop, Ballstag, Critchwitch, Gigafrost, Lone Wolf, Mrs. Dunsel, Trishy Metz, and Right Teach Play, of course. And now, here we go. Thank you to my viewers. Thank you to 1FBS. Thank you to Alney. Thank you to NX Skywalker, another TT viewer, Aiden, Commander Root, Dinu, Electrical Longboard, Arenth, Firemall, Fire Team Bravo, Garlic Tofu, Godoff. Thank you to Half Blood Report, Hex Scream, Helm, HTTP Alexis. Thank you to Hufflepuff, Jagtris, Jamie, JCG, Juan Carlo, Jew Haru, Kaiser Nobet, Kaikiners, let's see, KIK, Life as Alec. Life is Alec, I think that is. It's Aru, Lizzie Writes, Lurks, Medeus Prime, Mopal Kitten, Marie Bilodeau, Maya Leave Me, sorry, Minty Apollo, Mr. Munchkin 1, Ninetail was taken, Noonie, Penny is Very Wise, Poseidon X, Prince's Ponies, Cusex, Queen Rider, Quicksilver, Eveline, Remastino, Spaghetti Pea Sauce, Spicy Tuna Roll, let's see, Stony Lady, Story Lady Susan, Sweet Holly, That Anonymous, That One True Anon, The Shadow King, thank you for the follow, Elney, The Shadow King, The Grape Pop-Tart, The White Knight, oh, I like that, white, different kind of white, TNS Mephiston, Trey, what the heck, Tracian Can, I think, Hugh Christensen, Uncle Elias, Uncomfortable Pine Cone, that's right, I love that name, Universe, V&K, Virgo Prize, W Fanning, and Wildflower Dragon. Thank you all so much to all you lovely, lovely people. And now I'm going to send you over to, let me see, where can I send people to? I know where I'm going to send you to. All right. I'm going to send you to an awesome person who is a good streamer, who actually casts on this channel as a member of several of my various campaigns and voice teams, things like that, and who also is going to get hit with a lot of people just now, because that's what I feel like doing. Thanks all so much for everything. Much love to all of you, and especially thanks to the donators who supported the Carl Brennan Society and the Octavia E. Butler Memorial Scholarship. We did some good work tonight, folks. You made some positive good in the world. It feels like 2020 is the most garbage heap of all garbage heap years, but every so often there's just a little bit of light that peeks out when you can move some of the garbage away, and we did some good work today. So go to sleep feeling good about that after you do the raid, that is. And thank you all so much for being the best viewers on Twitch. I will be back Monday night. We will have Sod with a Grumbler's Guide to Sword Coast Legends. That'll be that evening. And then Tuesday, I will be here with at 10 a.m. Eastern playing some Star Wars Scum and Villainy with my friend Mike Underwood as GM, so you will not want to miss that. Thanks, everybody. Much love. I will catch all of you very soon. Until I speak to you next time, stick around for the raid. Be good to each other. Have a good night.